the Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.
Hey, shalom everybody. First off, before we start, just want to make sure everyone can hear me clearly. Please let me know, can everyone hear me clearly? Just say Khan if you can hear me clearly. All clear, Elder. Okay, all praises. What I also would like you guys to do is, if you don't mind, please hit the like button. We want to hit the like button. And I would have started with a song, but the thing is this, even though I played my song last week, I want this page to be able to be monetized, okay, to help to support the church. So my song also, of course, is copyrighted and registered. So I have to find a way with Elder how, we can do that to where certain songs I can play. I have to understand the rules of YouTube of how to play it, because it's not just about my song. I would like to play also some of your guys' songs so that, it doesn't get flagged, and then we can continue to support this page and this church. Okay. So bear with me tonight. I hope that the internet is, working good. But the good thing about it is that I do have my Starlink, and hopefully next week it will be set up. I just got it actually yesterday. I did not have time to set it up today. So, yes. So bear with me, and hopefully we can make it through this. Okay. So today we have a topic called, men like Abraham. And you're probably questioning, why did I make that topic that way? And if this is the thing, if this internet is having problems, and you're just gonna have to watch it later. Hopefully it plays a little clear, but more clear. But anyway, we call it Men Like Abraham because we want to try to help to create a nation of men, a nation of young men and young up and coming rulers in the future under their elders that will understand how to be able to walk as, men of God, men of Israel. Okay, because it's a lot of women out there who need husbands. It's a lot of men out there who need wives, but may not know, who may not have had this, who don't have the skill set, who probably didn't grow with a father, grandfather, or uncle to teach them the correct manner. So we're just going to give some things that some of our forefathers did, like Abraham. Not that Abraham was the only one, but he was a good example. He was a great example. We had Enoch, we had Noah, you understand, we had Moses. I mean, the list goes on and on. But Abraham was to be the father of many nations. And there was something that Abraham actually had in him that he didn't even know. And you're probably saying, well, what was that? Guess what? He was a father of many nations, right? But he was also a father of the promised seed. And guess who he had in him before he knew it? Christ. He had Christ in him. So when I'm saying be like Abraham, I'm still just saying be like Christ. We're not talking about the flesh. Because before Abraham was I, said Christ. See? Don't you forget that. Christ created Abraham. But in a sense, Abraham also, because Christ had to come down in the flesh, had Abraham had Christ in him. Eventually down the line to fulfill his purpose, to be able to free the children of Israel from captivity. Okay, what we're going through now. So our young men, a lot of them, I'm realizing some of them grew up, you understand, in foster homes. Some of them grew up in the street life. Some of them grew up in all different shape, form, and fashions. And listen, this is not only about the men. Of course, sisters can always get their, you understand, wisdom from this too. But we do have some sisters classes. I think that, I think her name is Sister Cheryl does as well. If some of you listen to some of those classes that the elderly sisters do, because it's their job to also teach the young women. And this page is, of course, not going to just be about teaching men or just teaching whatever. It's just the spirit that I had a few weeks ago. But last week I said, well, let me go into Tabernacles talk, and then I will reconvene with this one here. So today I'm going to go into it. I have my notes. We will go into a few scriptures, and then we will go into some updates about Ahia's Ranch and what we are doing on our blank canvas to make it just as we said, Ahia's Ranch. Okay. So we've been doing a lot of things, man. I mean, anyone knows me, I am always working. Okay. So I'm always working. I got my hands in many things. I'm a shepherd, first and foremost, you understand, and I'm doing things on the land. I'm studying, I'm learning, I'm taking care of my children. I run a few businesses as well, right? Trying to get those off of the ground. So, and you know, I'm working out. So, anyway, first I'm going to look at my notes here and just start with this. Abraham, first of all, he was a leader. Okay. He was looked at as a father. And so our brothers have to understand that leading a family, because a lot of young men are always asking me, so I figure I'll put this out, and I'm actually getting ready to have a little men's conference in Houston, just for the men in Houston, okay? The young men and young married men, to help them in certain areas they may need coaching in, where they want to get better in, you know, when it comes to finances, how to invest. Am I a master at all of these things? No, I have other leaders with me who are going to assist me in such things. Okay, because these are who the sisters are looking at, how all of the elders, the deacons, and the officers are moving. They want to marry men that's in this same nature, these same characteristics, not playing around, not just trying to, you know, get a woman to make a baby and then what, hey baby, what's next? You understand? So yes, I did a lesson, probably one of my first or second lessons on this show, trying to help the brothers. And I'm just going to go into the scripture about what our forefather did, how he overcame things that took faith and you understand, belief in the Most High, even if he didn't really understand everything fully right away. Okay. And you can compare them to our modern day times of how you can overcome such obstacles and things that you can do to prepare yourself a foundation to raise a family, if that's what you're going to do. Now, understand the times that we're in as well. You always have to consider these things. Do your finances equate to be able to do such things? Is your situation ready? Or should you even get married? Should you just be one of those men that serve the Most High? Right? Shalom, everyone. Okay, make sure y'all, those of y'all who are coming in, make sure you hit that like button. You know what I mean? If it be the Most High's will, we will get others to continue to come in and support not only this show, but the rest of the shows that are on G.O.C.C. Media. Okay. Just want to say, first of all, shalom to all of my elders out there, the deacons, the officers, the men, the women, and the children of Israel and the Gentiles. Okay. So, yes, Abraham was a leader. Abraham delegated power to many servants that the Most High eventually blessed him with, just like no different than Jacob had servants as well. Isaac had servants. You understand? We always had servants in the past as the men of Israel. This was a normal thing in our community, right? So Abraham also, he cared for the community. He wasn't just one of these modern day guys who just wants to show off on Instagram. Even some of your boxers today, you got, and I don't want to throw my brothers out there because some of them could be watching and learning, but I will put this out there. For example, my brother Deontay Wilder, he was like, to this day, he was yelling and doing all of these things. And, you know, I don't know the brother's background or where he come from, but this is the thing. I remember watching Mike Tyson fight, training so hard. It wasn't not about social media. It was about, listen, training hard to be the best. Not coming on here just talking, showing how, you know, your clothes, your cars, your fashion life, your rich life. It was about staying focused on the mission at hand. And, you know, a lot of new fighters come on here and guess what? They want to show everything on social media. By the time the fight comes, you're asking, did this person train for the fight? You know, this brother, we thinking this brother finna be like David and take down, you know, Fury. To this day. And to this day, he didn't. To this day, he didn't. Okay. Edom took him down because we so worried about talking and how good we look as kings and this and that, right? So we have to be careful and stay focused on the mission and not all the glitz and the glamour. That's what men are lacking a lot today. I got the chain, I got my car, and then you pull it up. And there's nothing wrong with having an apartment. Let me understand let me be clear. But I'm saying most of the guys I know I grew up with, they have 24-inch rims and they stay in apartments. I remember a guy stayed next to me. He was a big drug dealer. He had about 6 cars, all nice, rimmed up and everything, right? But he was staying in an apartment. And this is the thing, it's like, with all of that, man, you could actually bought some land, you could have owned some assets and things like that, but no one have taught these men to be like Abraham, of who we're talking about today. No one have taught them how to be like Christ. No one taught them how to be like Shem or Noah or the great men of the old times, okay? So we're just going to, you know, go through some scriptures today to show you how Abraham was moving, right? Now, Christ had a different mission when he came on. His job was very similar, but he had to go to come back and finish. But Abraham's time on here, he did great works to leave behind us a great example of how to be a family man and not so many young men. You know, I want to get married. But then you don't even know what it takes to do such a thing. Neither did some of we. So it's our job who have been through the experiences of life, the ups and downs of life, to use that in the scriptures that we know as elders to help and pass down to young men, okay? Because you cannot buy experience. You cannot buy experience, okay? That's why the scriptures tell you to knock on the door of the elders, right? Because guess what? You cannot buy experience. You can't. So please listen, because this experience may not only just come from myself, it's coming from older gentlemen and elders who have passed this down onto myself, okay, to fill me with more wisdom to be able to hand it down to you, okay? So outside of what I said, Abraham was a leader. He had delegated power to servants, caring for his community. He was taking care of his servants, kind of like what Elder was talking about in the last show, about how some of the men would come under certain men in the last times. No different than how he was talking about, since men want to keep talking about polygamy or polygyny, we want to put that crap to bed. You had certain men that even in the time of Abraham who were under him, okay? He was helping to take care of these servants and men. That was a community, okay? All right, so he didn't have to have intercourse with men for them to be under him. He was a father-like figure, delegating power, ruling over men and women and children, right? Planning food. He was planning food. He was a gardener. He was a husbandman. He was a protector of family, right? Because he said when he went to war, he took some of his servants who were young, who grew up in his house, who were trained servants. Okay, they were trained warriors, excuse me. He was and he had ambassador skills. He was a peacemaker. We're going to go into these scriptures to show you all of these things. Okay. I want to keep something on your mind as we go through this lesson. Are you a type of man who is just focused on living under your mother or your grandmother? You understand, or your auntie or whatever, how you know, how these curses hit us so hard. Are you one of those men who just was focused on that? Or you're focusing on that? Maybe you didn't have a father. It's okay. So tonight you should know, hey, I shouldn't be focused on just staying under my mother's wings the whole time. Okay, if I'm staying at mother's house, am I taking care of things? Am I working towards that? Because we know everybody's situation is different. Sometimes mama may have got sick. You helping take care of mama, all of these things. But we talking about the sorry excuse men. We're talking about the sorry excuse men. Some people who have became, who became rich had to draw back and stay at mother's house for a little bit to revamp, get on their grind, because they had a better plan than probably they had before, and they come out to be rich, and now they can really take care of mother. We're not talking about that. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about people who just have so many excuses, and you ask them, what are your goals? Their goals is to stay under mom and grandmother and auntie for as long as they can. They're out there making babies. They're coming back in, and they're seeing what mama got. If she got some Kool-Aid in the refrigerator and some food cooked on the stove and some tissue when they need to relieve themselves. No, this is not what the Most High called us to be, guys. Okay, so are you a man like Abraham? You have to ask yourself that. Okay, so even when you're at your job, if you have been promoted to manager, you have servants under you because you have been thought worthy enough to be able to handle your business, because to whom much is given, much is required, guys. Baby boy. Yeah, I hear some of you guys out there talking about baby boy. You see, I did not need my mother to tell me to leave the porch. You see, I left the house already at 19. I knew already how hard my mother worked, you understand, and struggled to take care of her 5 children. You understand? So I didn't need a man to tell me to leave the house. And if you did, so be it. That's what he's there for. But I was already self-disciplined as a young child. Whatever the Most High had in me, I knew that I was supposed to, I knew I was going to be some type of leader, because the guys who I was trying to follow to be friends with, they seemed to use me for rides. They seemed to use me, for fun. But when I wanted to hang with them, they didn't really want me to hang with them. So after a while, I realized, why am I following these guys? I don't really need them. They're the one who needs me. I'm the one going to work. I'm the one who has a car. They don't have nothing. You talk about my basketball days. And so when I separated myself from them, the Most High moved me with better friends who were teaching me about the music business, about how not to get an artist deal. I knew how not to get this right when high school ended, and a little bit before that. I knew never get an artist deal, never do this, never do that. My friend was teaching me. He was a Nigerian friend, teaching me, look at Puffy, look at Suge Knight, look at these people who are running the record labels. I was taught to think like a boss, to think like a leader. So never did I ever want a record deal. I always wanted a distribution deal to own my own stuff since 19. Okay, so I never begged for these things. I was trained at a young age to work hard. When my friends used to go out to the club and I wanted to make it to the NBA, because I did play and I still play high-level basketball. You better ask Dallas. I still play. You better ask Elder Rawchaa. Elder Rawchaa got him a ring too. So listen, I'm not just talking. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So anyway, we could be down. Listen, we could be down by 6 to 8. I'm gonna come back and hit all the threes to bring us back where we gotta go. Let's just say that it could be 3 people on me. That's is going down, but that's enough. But anyway, I used to run up and down running horses, that we call them horses, running up and down the basketball court while my friends would beat the horn. They see me out there late at night running. Discipline. Okay, this was before high school, or even all up to high school. I was always just this way, guys. This is just who I am. Okay, so this is the thing. Some leaders are just born, but don't mean that leaders cannot be made as well if you listen. Okay, I don't know how to not be disciplined. I don't. Okay, so this was Abraham. Most High saw something in Abraham and said, hey, this brother, I know he's going to take care of his children. I know he's going to do what I'm telling him to do. This is Abraham. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question out there. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you have the mindset of a man who just, you take care of your family and that's it? And there's nothing wrong with that. Or do the women in your family even respect you? Because that's what Christ called us to be. You see, my mother respects me. If I had a grandmother, she will respect me. My sister respect me. Everything you do, your light should be shining on other people's darkness until they get some sort of light to continue and shine their light. That's what Christ called us to be. You see, like Elder Rawchaa said, he said one day when he come around, his family know to maybe put the cigarette up, do this. My family knows when I come around, not that I'm some special guy, but they see Christ. They want to do better. They're doing better. If they're looking at my relationship is good, they want that relationship. And this is what I'm talking about here is facts. Listen, since I came back, anywhere I go in the world, I can go back to Egypt right now and I'll tell you what they're doing that they were not doing when I and other brothers was there. They're doing calisthenics now on videos. They were doing muscle ups. They wasn't doing that until black people came there, until I came there. You see, so that's Christ. Everywhere Christ goes, Christ is in us all. Everywhere we go, we should be shining that light. It's not about showing off. It's about, listen, I'm leaving Christ everywhere I see darkness. Okay, period. So if you know us, even though you don't celebrate, maybe birthdays, all this stuff, you can call mama. Hey, mama, I'm about to give you a gift. Hey, mama, we finna go to lunch. What time you free? Boom. Hey, sister, it's your birthday. I'm gonna send you a little money. Even if it's not your birthday, whatever. Even though we know we don't do these same things they do. The Most High had grace and patience on us for many years. And as soon as we get in the truth, we forget to have grace and mercy on these people to transition them into the same thing that we are in now. We just get in and we like, oh, you ain't supposed to be doing this. You ain't supposed to be doing that. You don't know how to transition people. What are you here for? You don't know how to have a certain bait to catch fish. What are you here for? You guys can't forget that, honestly. You see, no one telling you to throw no birthday party for nobody. Like it says in Josephus, we didn't do those things, but you got to use wisdom. Christ was among the regular sinners. Matter of fact, these are the people that he died for, to bring them into this. Let us not forget. So don't just waste your time. I don't even pay attention to these comments anymore. Some people coming on the Tabernacles Talk video talking about, why would you pick that song? Because Elder Rawchaa makes beautiful music. Because he called the title Slave's Journey. You're offended at that? That's the only thing you see out of that? No different than when we were street preaching. You got a brother say, I'm always looking for fringes. That's all you see? Why would you take your time to come on here? If you're so busy and you have greater works to do. You see what I'm saying? We will always ignore these comments from now on, as we usually do. But I thought to put it out there for some of you who may also fall from some of these things, talking about we should still be doing sacrifice and certain things. Bless you all, and we hope that you have great works, because we already know what Christ said. If it's of Christ, it's going to prosper, and if it's not, it's going to fail and come to naught. Anyway, do some of the women look up to you in your family, or do they always have to take out money to give to you all of these years? Yeah, sometimes brothers may get hurt and mama's there to help every now and then, but is this your whole life? Your mama should be there when you just really, 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 really need her. Grandma should be there when you just really, really need her. But if that's your way of life, man, listen. And then you going around trying to holler at women and sisters, brother, You really have to relook at things. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Those women in that family should look up to more men in this world with respect. That's how women respect you. You can be acting like you all that tough physically, this or that, but she gonna look at you like you're not holding it down. So her eye is on real men, leaders of this church, men who are working hard, not making excuses. Period. Straight up. She pretending with you because she got respect and she loves you, and she's waiting to see if you're gonna do something. Get up off your butt to do something. But I'm thinking about doing this. How long are you gonna think? So that's why we made this lesson, to be men like Abraham. And this is not being rich. This ain't about being rich. We rich in the spirit. This is just about handling your business as a man of something someone should not tell a grown man that he's supposed to do. Now we're not talking about those who just may not know. These scriptures is going to help you as well today. Okay? So we need you to be hard working. So the first scripture we're going to go to before we look at the video of the updates that's on the highest ranch. You won't see me in these clothes. You're going to see me getting down, getting dirty out the mud. Because it's a time for everything. So the first scripture I'm going to go to, let me open my Eastwood here. One moment. Forgive me, one moment, please. We're going to go to Genesis 12:1, talking about a little faith here. Okay, if you guys don't mind. Alrighty. Hopefully Eastwood does not take, if Eastwood takes too much of my internet, then I'm just going to go through my Bible. Because, man, all right. Genesis 12:1. Okay, we're going to probably go to verse 16. Genesis 12:1. Now, we're going to go through a few scripts here, so be patient and understand where we're going to go here. All right. Genesis 12:1 through 16. Now, the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. So the Most High is telling him already, it's time to leave mama's house, time to leave your family house, your daddy house, and to go be a man. Right? And I will make of thee, and especially because these people were people of the world. Right? You can't stay and do the Most High's will and be lukewarm. See? Verse 2. And I will make thee of a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make your name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed as the Most High spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. So check this out. Compare this to like the truth, right? For instance, I came into this truth, and then my brother came with me. You came into it, your cousin or your family member or your friend came with you. You guys walked out on faith to a God and his son you have not seen. That's walking out on faith. So the first thing for a man, if he wants to become a man like Abraham or our forefathers, let's just say men like Abraham really means men like our forefathers, the great men. You have to step out on faith. You want to go get something, you want to get a job, you want to be successful, you have to step out on faith. You may not see it right away, but if you feel like the Most High is pushing you to this area, or even if he's not, if another family member or elder is saying, hey, you can go get work over here, you can go do this, try this. They're telling you these things through the Holy Spirit to help you to do better in life. Okay? So you can one day have your family, young man. Right? And Abraham took Sarah, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed Yeah. Let's jump down to verse 10. We ain't gonna read the whole thing. And let's go to verse 10. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there. For the famine was very grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarah his wife, Behold, now I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, This is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. So Abraham basically was told to go somewhere and to do something. But there are obstacles in his way. When we do something, there will be obstacles in our way. It's sometimes a test from the Most High that we may overcome. Sometimes it's something from the devil himself that you have to overcome. The Most High may tell you something and the devil is trying to stop you in every which way. You have to overcome it. And if you overcome it and don't give up on the Most High will still bless you. We're not always just talking about finances. We're talking about the purpose of the Most High. He will bless you with these other things. He says, Seek ye the kingdom, and everything else is going to be added unto you. But you have to believe, and you have to have faith and works. Right, let's go to verse 13. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee. And it came to pass that when Abraham was come into Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman, that she was very fair. Now, sisters, understand that the Egyptians were very fleshly people. Their desire for women in that time was just very fleshly. We try to make sure that we look not only on the flesh, but that we look at the spirit when we get a woman. Because especially in Babylon, men, listen, Babylon tell you, get that woman that's more close to white, that's bright skinned. She got to have that long, curly hair or whatever, close to white people. Listen, no, that's not the only type of woman of Israel. That's not a bad woman either, but you choose according to your prayers of the Most High, which is a good spiritual woman. And yes, of course, on the outside, it has to have balance of the spirit to, for yourself. Every man wants something for himself. So everyone has their own choice and preferences is what I'm saying. But let us look at the inner woman first, okay? We understand that fleshly beauty doesn't matter according to the scriptures, right? Let's go to 15. The princess also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house, and he entreated Abraham well for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen and asses and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels. Okay? So, don't forget, after this situation with Abraham, he was blessed with more servants and more servants and more cattle. What was going on here? He was going, because he left off in faith. He didn't know what he was getting into. He probably thought things were not going to go well. But he stepped out on, I'm sure he was nervous sometimes, worried. But hey, I got to do what I have to do. I can't be a wussy. I have to go out here and do what I need to do. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to read the comments later because y'all be cracking me up. So he did not give up is what I'm saying. Every time he didn't give up, he got blessed with more. Pass this test, pass that test, pass that test. When you go to a job, if you do good and you excel, you get blessed with a raise. Now, we know some jobs ain't giving you what they're supposed to give you. That's when you need to ask for wisdom or some counsel to say, hey, should I stay at this job? If I stay here 10 years, I'm only getting a $2, $3 raise. No, you shouldn't. See, a job is really a stepping stone to the greatness that the Most High have put in you, my brother, or even my sister. But right now we focusing on our brothers to be able to take care of y'all. So y'all can take care of them with that good old food and whatever else they may need. You see what I'm saying? Because we know that in this day, you see, women is going to need strong leaders to help them to make it in this time. You're going to need protection to get you into the kingdom of heaven, whether it's your uncle, whether it's your grandpa, whether it's a leader of the church, whatever the case may be. See, we ain't worrying about no flesh. We understand it. We talk about survival. Who wants to be making babies in a time of war? Does that even make sense? So we're not going to argue with foolishness at all. We avoid foolish things like the scriptures tells us. Common sense to tell you, any man ain't thinking about that if he thinking about making sure his family is surviving from day to day. Right? We talking about real men with the mind of the Most High here. These are men like Abraham. Okay? So let's go to our next scripture, guys. Because Abraham was blessed from being tested through all of these persecutions with more men and maidservants. You see what I'm saying? So because of his work ethic, he was blessed. Because of your work ethic, you can be blessed. Now understand, we're in captivity, so you're probably not going to have, servants. But when you're at your job, if people are under you, those are your servants. You shouldn't be happy to have servants. We're just showing through your works, you will eventually have to have so much work on your plate that you're going to have to delegate things and have to manage things. The last time I can remember, I have been a manager, like I told you guys, since I was in high school. But that was my mind. When I get in here, I would ask questions. What do I need to do to get there? What do I need to do to get there? Not in a way of being greedy, but of course, in this world, we all want to do better. But in this truth, we can't come up, what do I need to do to be an elder? That's not what you do in the spiritual world. In the physical world, you want to have enough to take care of your family is what I'm saying. But in this, it's a little different. It's the same, but it's a little different. You can't try to want some type of leadership or something like that. Your job is to be a great man of the Most High. And because you're doing whatever talent he gave you, he will then, if he sees fit, place you in that area. Okay? So let's go to 2 Samuel 3:20 through 30. Because Abraham was a peacemaker. And we're going to watch someone, because see, as a man, to be like a man of Abraham, you have to be a peacemaker. You can't be going around fighting all the time, trying to show who you are. It's vain. We're going to show you what happens from someone who was not a peacemaker. What happens to them, how they can get cursed, right? 2 Samuel 3:20. And some of these scriptures, I'm just going to go through them. Maybe not read the whole thing. Okay? We have to have forgiveness as men of the Most High. We can't be brawlers as the scriptures tell us, right? Okay, this goes for any man, right? 2 Samuel 3:20 through 30. Let me go there. Sorry about that. I was in Genesis. Give me one moment. I'm using this eastward. I got it kind of zoomed out so I can see. There we go. There we go. Y'all bear with me. So there we go. So Abner came to David, So Abner came to David to Hebron, and 20 men with him. And David made Abner and the men that were with him a feast. And Abner said unto David, I will arise and go, and will gather all Israel unto my lord the king, that they may make a league with thee, and that thou mayest reign over all that thine heart desired. And David sent Abner away, and he went in peace. Now, don't forget, this is a time that Benjamin, the house of Benjamin, was going against, Judah and the rest of the kingdom. Because of Saul having to step down from king, there was problems with Benjamin and the rest of the kingdom, okay? There was a war. All right, so let's continue here. Verse 22. And behold, the servants of David and Joab came from pursuing a troop and brought in a great spoil with them. But Abner was not with David in Hebron, for he had sent him away, and he was gone in peace. I know it's lagging a little bit. Y'all forgive me. Then Joab came to the king and said, What hast thou done? Behold, Abner came unto thee. Why is it that thou sent him away? And he is quite gone. So Joab was angry at David because Abner, killed his brother. Now, he killed his brother in a situation where they was like, let the men kind of, play in battle. And it just so happened Joab's brother kept chasing Abner, and Abner ended up killing him. So Joab, we're going to find out what happened with him, all right? Verse 25, thou knowest Abner the son of Ner, he came to deceive thee, and to know thy going out and thy coming in, and to know all that thou doest, right? Let's see here. Verse 26. And when Joab was come out from David, he sent messengers after Abner, which brought him again from the well of Sirah, but David knew it not. And when Abner was returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside to the gate to speak with him quietly, and smote him there under the 5th rib, that he died, for the blood of Asahel, his brother. Make sure when you're coming in, you press that like button. Last time I looked at the video, everyone was not listening and pressing the like button. And it's okay if you don't want to do it. You don't have to do it. But it'd be nice if you show some support to press that like button, right? For this algorithm here. So Joab took vengeance. Who wouldn't have want to take vengeance, right? But what does the Most High command us? He commands us to forgive. And sometimes that forgiveness is going to be different in every situation, especially if the king commands us. The king said what he said for a reason, because it was going to continue to be more and more bloodshed, guys. You see what I'm saying? So what happened? Let's see. Verse 28. So he stabbed him under the 5th rib, just like Abner did Joab's brother. Verse 28. And afterward, when David heard it, he said, I and my kingdom are guiltless before the Lord forever, from the blood of Abner, the son of Ner. Let it rest on the head of Joab and on all his father's house. So now on all his father's house. Check that out. So now through the rest of his lineage. Okay. And let there not fail from the house of Joab one that had issue, or that is a leopard, and that leaneth on a staff, or that falleth on the sword, or that lacketh bread. So some of these things that we've seen in our captivity still coming back from that time until these people come and return to Christ. This curse is specifically coming on some of these people of Judah. Until someone breaks that line of iniquity that their forefather Joab did. So as men of the Most High, we have to have forgiveness. We have to understand that we cannot be men of Abraham. We cannot be men of Christ, of the Most High, without forgiveness and being a peacemaker. You cannot be petty. You have to learn how to forgive, even in some of the toughest situations, guys. We're going to go back to Genesis 13. Okay. Let's go back to Genesis 13 really quick, since we're talking about men of Abraham. Okay. Men like Abraham, excuse me. We're going to go to verse 8. Genesis 13:8. And Abram said unto Lot, this is a situation where Abraham had to be an ambassador, he had to be a peacemaker, and he had to forgive. And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren. He's like, we family, man. We can't be going through all of this. You see what I'm saying? Abraham was a straight killer. But Abraham was like, this is my family. I'm not Cain. There's no Cain in me. Let it be peace among us. Let's see how Abraham took it upon himself to be a peacemaker, because you can't be a family man if you're like rah 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 every time somebody says something to you. Yeah, you want to make sure you come back home to your family. Okay? Some men are very volatile, and every time someone tells them something, they want to act like, because even a righteous woman don't act like this. I can't say a righteous woman. You're acting less than a righteous woman if you're getting emotional and want to fight every time someone tells you something and make a mad look in the mug. You're acting less than a righteous woman, because righteous women don't do this. So if you're not even acting like a woman, all we can call you is a tranny or something. We don't know, a transformer, a shapeshifter. You see? Okay, so let's go to verse 9. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. Look at Abraham. such an ambassador. He understands how to reason to make peace. Instead of a friend, make not an enemy. Right? So, verse 10, excuse me. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan. He already knew what he wanted in his mind. See? He already knew what he wanted in his mind. That it was well watered everywhere before the Most High destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Most High, like the land of Egypt, as thou come to Zoar. Now check how humble Abraham was. He knew what the Most High promised him. So he's like, listen, you can take whatever you want. So Lot, being kind of greedy, because Lot's men were very tumultuous and loud, and it was problems with Abraham's men and his men. You see what I'm saying? So the grass is not always green on the other side, Lot. You see what I'm saying? As you know what happens in Sodom and Gomorrah. So Abraham was humble. He would have took Sodom's side. He would have took whatever side, but he was humble enough to be the bigger person. And that's what type of men we need to know how to solve problems, problem solvers, not people who keep things going. That's how men roll. How can we fix the problem? We don't want to continue on and on and on talking about nothing. We got more work to do, right? So that's what Lot chose. Let's go to Matthew 5:1-12. Let's go to Matthew 5:1-12. Listen, we're going through it tonight. We're trying to teach you how to think like a man of Abraham. These women around here should respect you a little bit more from your actions, not from saying, I'm a man, look at my muscles, or I can make babies and I got a deep voice. That's all you got? And even if you do have finances, are you a show off? Or are you a man that shows humility? Can you serve great lords? Can you be quiet when it's time? Or do you always think that you have to know something? Because Abraham was humble enough to pay his tithes to another man. Shem, right? Matthew 5:1-12. Because we know men have greatness in there. We can't deny the greatness the Most High put in men, but there's a process. Some men want what they see. For instance, someone can look at Elder Rawchaa, someone can look at a man that has put in so much work and want what he has overnight. It will never work for you like that. It will never. And if it does, anything that comes quick comes from the devil. Because the Most High, he puts men through the furnace of adversity. Gold must be tried through the fire. You don't make gold overnight. It's a process. And you have to be willing to have patience, because without patience and faith, it's impossible to serve the Most High. Okay? Matthew 5:1-12. We may not read the whole thing. We'll see. Actually, let's go to verse 3. There we go, verse 3. Hope you guys had enough time to get it. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. These are the mindset that men should be in. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. We're not telling you to mourn. Some of these things is not what I'm talking about here. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. We must be meek. It's always going to be some people who mourn, but if we're in the mindset of Abraham, some of these people who are mourning, if we work hard enough, we can be like what some scriptures I'm going to read very soon to show you how we can help some of our people in our community, like we're doing now. We're baptizing people. We're bringing them to the water, teaching them different things about how they can better their lives, right? But you have to be meek to be put in such a position. Blessed are, verse 5, the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. So these are the people who shall inherit the earth when everything's done. And even now, he's going to put these people in position because he knows that the meek are those who can actually handle certain things without getting too cocky, right? For vainglory. Verse 6, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Abraham thirsts to be able to follow the Most High, to find the Father. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. So if you're a man and you finally get a position, then you show no mercy like that evil servant that Christ was talking about, who after he owed someone money, then when someone owed him money, he was totally in hypocrisy on how he handled that situation. He treated that guy with no mercy when someone else showed him mercy who was above him. Verse 8, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High. This is right, like this right here, verse 8 is one of the things that's very hard to find in our people these days. I mean, there's always some type of agenda. There's always some type of motive. I mean, can someone bless you with something to help the work without down the line you had some type of motive or agenda? You see what I'm saying? Not only that, if you're a man who wants to be successful, get married, whatever the case may be a leader, whatever. No one should try to choose to be a leader. The first leadership you should be trying to do is lead yourself and lead your family and your children first. Right? But we need pure-hearted people. Some men be playing games, and then you get with women thinking they're going to get a pure-hearted man, a pure-minded man who's not playing games, and then she's taking care of that brother. You see? That's why the scripture says a woman who maintaineth her husband is full of reproach and anger. She's full of anger and frustration because she's taking care of you, man. You see? So that's not the man of Abraham. Sarah was not taking care of Abraham. Abraham had to step off that porch. He had to step away from that land to go find out what was his purpose. And not just sit down and hopefully the Most High flies out the sky. Drops it out the sky, Right? Verse 9, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Was all of these things not what Abraham was going through? Was he not a peacemaker? Was he not going through persecution? If we were going to be called the children of the Most High, children of Abraham, followers of Christ, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Because people are going to do that. You can't get mad at everything that someone says. See, we had to just learn. You understand, when some dirt get on you, wipe it off. Wipe it off. You know what I mean? Just keep it moving. You're going to get dirt on you. You're going to get scars. You're going to get scratches. You're going to get war wounds. Wipe it off and keep moving. People going to say what they want to say. But as long as no one ain't messing with your wife, your mama, your sister, your daughter, you can take that stuff. You rough. You made hard. You made rough, right? You see? Okay. 11. We all got to protect ourselves. Of course, that's common sense. If I got to tell you that, then hey, I don't know what to tell you. Right? Verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you. Make sure you hit that like button. And persecute you and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Okay? So these are the type of characteristics and ways that we must have and obtain to be men like Christ, to be men like Abraham, to be men like our forefathers. Listen, when my mother told me, she said, I look up to you. I'm not her father, but she said, I also look up to you like a father figure in some ways. That right there hit me hard because it let me know I was walking in Christ. Because there's certain things our mothers and fathers may not have even learned. It's certain things their mothers and fathers may not have not even learned. That's Christ. It ain't me. I'm just trying to follow what I see here and listen to my elders, to listen to all the prophets, to listen to Christ. Guess what? You see? and it's bouncing off. It's reflecting. The light is reflecting to others' darkness, and it's helping them to change their life. Is not this what Christ is all about? Were we not here to help our people, right? So we're going to go to Luke 16:9. Let's go to Luke 16:9 really quick. And we're moving at a pretty good pace. We're moving at a pretty good pace. This is another thing that you'll learn as a follower of Christ, because some of us get this truth and then we just X everyone off. You know what I mean? Some of us have done it in the beginning. We can't lie, but we realize, like, hold up, I'm moving a little too fast. I have to pace myself. I may not want to do that. I may need this person. They may need me, whatever the case may be. So what does the scripture say about that right here? Luke 16:9 says, "And I say unto you, make ye to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness." Is he telling us to go and be with people who are evildoers? No. You guys have got this part twisted. He didn't tell you to go make friends with people who are purposely doing evil. We're supposed to be at peace with all men, but when he's saying friends of mammon, he's not talking about I need you to go hang around some of them devil worshipers. That's not what he's saying at all. Don't get that confused. Anyone who is not following the laws accordingly to what Christ said, they are unrighteous people. But a lot of them, according to the world, are still good people who you work amongst, who, when you go to the grocery store, you can still say hi to. Normal people, but they're eating different than us. They may do things a little different than us, but they're not out there killing, stealing, murdering, but they are still unrighteous people because they're still lukewarm. These are the type of friends of mammon that we would make friends with. They're not perfect, but you're not going to go make friends with someone who could potentially take you out or get you caught up somewhere. That's not the type of, I got a connection with this dope dealer. No, that's not what the Most High is talking about. Just so I can put this out here for people. You're talking about people who have resources. For instance, I'm on this land. I know people who are business owners. And everything I tell them, I say, hey, thank you for helping me with this service, sir. Don't, if you ever feel like you need to give me a call, if things ever hit the fan, if things ever go down, I'm over here. Feel free to give me a call. We may need each other in this time. I do this with many people, maybe not everyone, but just to let them know all black people are not the same. Right? Because instead of a friend, make not an enemy. Not only that, they have resources and connections. There's a bartering system you can do here to further the ministry or for emergency type situations. Okay? So that's what it's talking about. People who are working hard for their money. They're still unrighteous people because they're not really following the laws. They still could be following Jesus. Okay? They could still be following. And we know that some of you who come on here and don't understand the name of Jesus, there was no J's or U's during the time of Christ. His name is Yeshua, which means to save. Yeshaya, my savior. Okay? So it's still the same person, but that was not his name. It's just what we're saying. Okay? Like Jesus. We do know in Greek it means Joshua, but his name was Savior. Okay? He's coming to save his people. That's what it means in the ancient Hebrew. But you guys can go to the Hebrew and Bible Academy for this information, which you should. If you want to be a great, studious person in the Bible. Okay, it's going to kill any theologian school out there. I'll put you in the class if you think I'm lying. Okay, but let's continue. So these are the type of friends of mammon that it was talking about. Okay, verse 10. No, let's finish with verse 9. And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of mammon of unrighteousness, that when ye fail, or when you have a mishap, when something happened, you got fired, whatever the case may be, or, accident happened. Man, I know this record truck driver. man, I don't got the money right now, but can you come and get me and my family out of this situation? Boom. Even though you should have AAA, but I'm just saying, that's just an example. If you couldn't afford it, you'd have made a connection. You probably went by and brought them some cookies or something one day, or did some type of barter, and now you got you a friend. Not to use them, but to help each other in a time of trouble. When you feel that they may receive you into everlasting habitations, or they may have some type of bunker or some, you can go into if you couldn't get connected with the body. You've made some friends with somebody and they say, hey, are you okay over there? Come over here with us. Some Esau's like that. And they don't even want you to know in the times of slavery that some of Esau was doing that, helping us. Okay. Verse 10, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful in also much. This was Abraham. Making friends of the Canaanites, making friends of the Egyptians, making friends of some of these people who he was around. And guess what happened after that? What did they give him through the Most High? Resources. They gave him resources. Sometimes, like you'll be out here on this land and somebody say, oh, that's how I got a mango tree just recently. Check it out. This well-off lady said, hey, I'm just too small to be moving this mango tree back and forth. Huge mango tree. Now, it's very hard for you to find something that's 5-6 years old, that's mature fruit. That tree should cost you. That tree should cost you almost $1,000. Let's say that, right? That tree should cost you almost $1,000. But I got it for $140. Make you friends of Mammon. You see what I'm saying? And they say, yes, we will call you. We have more fruit tree. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, make these connections. This is what Abraham was doing. Don't be so, I can't stand them Gentiles. And listen, sometimes the Most High can bless them like he blessed Abraham. Can bless you through them, like he did Abraham. They are the ones who have the resources right now, my friend. Right? You got people who was telling Elder Rawchaa, hey, like he said, what you need, a boat? What you need? Don't be so stuck up, guys. Your woman who you marry will have honor for you. Your mother, your sister will have honor for you. She's like, I'm proud of who my brother become. I'm proud of who my son has become. I'm proud of who my grandson has become. My wife is honored to be by my side. My daughters look up to me because I'm taking care of things. I'm respected in the land among the elders in the church. Even though I'm not a leader, I'm a respected man. When they call upon me, they can depend upon me. Whoa, hold up now. Are you that man just sitting in the back of the class quiet? Never trying to do nothing. Just come to the Sabbath. That's it. You happy because you got you a little money like that rich man who Christ said, you ain't fit for the kingdom of heaven because you really don't got no faith. You happy with the little money you got, but you really ain't trying to do no ministry. You really ain't trying to do nothing. You just happy to be following the laws. I know a lot of men like that. I'm going to be honest with you. There's people who be needing help moving. You can't call some of these brothers for nothing. You can't call some of them for nothing. You see? It's times where an elder's supposed to be so busy doing what he's doing. And sometimes I got to come out to do things that certain people supposed to do. Are you kidding me? I don't mind being boots on the ground, but it's like if I got to be boots on the ground, what do you need it for now? What do you need it for? Not in every situation. Okay, I need, we got to study fast and handle certain things and take, help the body and the flock. I was a deacon before, making calls, calling people's house, going there, checking on them, doing all of these things. But you get more on your plate and you have to do much more things. So certain things like Abraham, you have to delegate. And the work still gets done. Every time a man baptizes somebody, that soul counts on the Elder Rawchaa. Period. See? And if I tell somebody to baptize, that soul counts on me. That soul counts on the Elder Rawchaa. We all now doing the works of Christ together. It all flows and works together. One man planted, one man water, other man, Most High get an increase. See what I'm saying? So it's no need to be vainglory type of man. Anyway, we're at 8:05 right now. Well, at least my time, Central Standard Time here. So, verse 10, he that is faithful in that which is least is also faithful in much. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. So if this is you, if you're don't have any type of faith, you want everything, right, at your leisure, but you're not willing to work for it. You want to rob, steal, and kill and be jealous and envious for it, though. You go rob somebody for it. You can't be a man like Abraham. Abraham wasn't robbing people. He was rescuing people. He was saving people. He was a father to many people. He was a great example of Christ to many people. We need men like this. If you haven't learned, if you were not taught, because we know there's thousands of men out there who were not taught, we need men like this, humble men. Humble servants of the Most High. For those of you who don't know what Ahaya means, if you're new watching this, it just means I am. Ahaya or Shar Ahaya means I am that I am. We're just speaking ancient Hebrew, what God speaks, what the Bible was written in the Old Testament. The New Testament is written in Greek. The Old Testament is written in Hebrew. Just saying I am that I am. Don't let it scare you off. Understand the main message of how Christ can change our community. Okay. All right. So if you guys want to do better, you have to learn how to, when they give you a job, they're going to put you at a lower position. But he that is faithful in least is also faithful in much. So just how he shined them windows, okay, we're going to put him here now. Just how you do that, we're going to put him here now. I remember my high school job. I was working at Jiffy Lube. And I asked my uncle, because he was over that store at the time. I said, man, I'm washing windows. How do I get up on them hoods? Even though it wasn't the best job, it was better than working at the grocery store, right? I jumped quickly to them hoods. I jumped to the salesman. He had to end up going run another store. But I brought that store to the #1 store in the state through my sales. You know what I mean? So I never stopped. Every other job I went to, manager. Short amount of time. Don't take me long. Fast learner. I understand things very quick. I know what I want very quick. See? But with this spiritual walk, I understood this is different than a regular job. It's the same with you need to have that same work ethic that you put forward with the devil, but you don't want to seek any leadership with this. I tell you right now, because it comes with a lot. It can come with death. It can come with more persecution. It can come with more judgment if you fail or make mistakes. See? It can come with a lot of things. This is not the one you want to try to. You want to just make sure you come in this and do your best and that you're ready when needed. Straight up. Okay? We try to build men like Abraham for those of you who are just now coming on the show. So we're going to go to another scripture. Okay, the last one we had was Luke 16. Okay, so where are we going now? Let's go back to Genesis 14. I got some good stuff for y'all now. I'm telling you right now. I got some good stuff for y'all. So like I said, next week, hopefully I can connect my Starlink and then I can eventually be taking some calls since it came in. Okay. So yeah, I'm excited. I got to find out how to do that. I got some new stuff coming. Like I said, some cooking from some people. You understand, the music will be coming. We listen, we got to figure out that music thing because we can't be having copyright strikes all over the place. So I have something. Yeah, we're going to have something for that. Don't you worry. We're going to find a way. We always do. So let's check this out here. Genesis 14 and 13. Because I was like, man, I want to play some brother songs, but listen, if you don't own a song and it don't get copyright strike down here, someone else you took that beat from YouTube, it's going to get copyright strike, period. Cause as you know, it did mines. So, yeah, we want to make sure the church get their little support. Okay. We do all of this for the Most High himself. Genesis 14 and 13. And there came one that had escaped and told Abraham the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, brother of Anor, and these were confederate with Abraham. Check that out. These people were at peace with Abraham. So once again, he was a peacemaker. If you're a person always out there fighting, you're enraged, you can't take care of a family. You can't rule the people because you have anger problems, which turn to wrath, which is demonic. Okay? And verse 14, and when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he's talking about Lot. Okay, it's his brother in a sense because that's his nephew, right? He armed his trained servants born in his own house. Trained servants. So Abraham was over a community in what does that tell you? That tells you everything was in order. It wasn't just some people who were just chilling around living. They had to get trained, guys. Back in the days, you had to know how to fight. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what they talk about on that. Anyway, let's stay on subject. Yeah, y'all got to listen. I know y'all talking, but we're gonna answer the questions after. Okay. Anyway, bless you all. So anyway, let's 1 second. Verse 14. And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants born in his own house 318 and pursued them unto Dan. So he had 318 servants. As far as the fighters go, not many men to go and fight a great army, and he divided himself against them, and he and his servants by night, and he smote them and pursued them unto Hobah, which is unto the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot and his goods, and the women also, and the people. Now the Most High can put the spirit on anybody to win. He put the spirit on Abraham to win, because when Abraham was fighting his fights, he was not fighting just to be fighting someone. Don't forget, when he went through the scuffles with certain Canaanites or the Egyptians, there was really no fighting going on. There was more reasoning, because you have to learn how to pick your battles. But when he was going to rescue Lot, guess what happened? He put his life on the line for his brother. Don't forget, Christ said that was the greatest thing that you can do, is lay down your life for your brother. So he was already showing Christ. Right? So, okay, Sharon Brown. Yes, ma'am. Right? So he put his life on his line for his brother, so he was already showing Christ. We are fighting if someone messes with our family. That's when it's like, you know what? It's time to sell my cloak and go get me a sword. See, they messing with my family now. Like, I done took these other precautions, these measures. I did this, but Father, please be with me. I got to go do what I got to go do. And he came back, and the Most High was with him, as we're reading here, right? Verse 17. And the kingdom of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and the kings that were with him at the valley of Shavah, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High, talking about Shem. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. For those who don't know who Melchizedek is, you new watchers or viewers, Melchizedek was actually Shem. That was Noah's son. He was the high priest who we were to pay tithes to before Levi. Okay? So, now in current time, the high priests are from all tribes now. Okay? But it must be anointed elders who's in leadership. Okay? Each church has their own leadership and high priest. Okay? So, you probably already know them in this church, but I'm talking about for new people. All right? So, and you can read that in the New Testament. So, Genesis 14 and 19. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham of the Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, which had delivered thine enemies into thine hand, and he gave him tithes of all. This is another thing, man. You can't be a cheap, slouch, lazy person, greedy person who don't want to pay your tithes. I don't follow man. You do follow man, because that's how you get your money when you go to work. That's how you get your paycheck. So when you hear cats out there talking about I don't follow men, you are taking orders to get a paycheck. And if you have your own business, guess what? You still have to follow somebody. You're going to always have to follow men. There will always be someone who will have to give you some type of orders. You're taking orders from the president of the United States because you're following his rules. So you are following man, because you didn't run up in there and take him out of position and put yourself in position. So crickets. Okay? You have to follow someone. And it's okay to follow a righteous man. So you have to pay your tithes according to the law. Tithes are not sheep, goat, camels, oxen, all that. Definitely not camels, because we ain't sacrificing that. But I'm just saying, no one has livestock on a mass level when it comes to the children of Israel. Only a few people in our nation have this stuff. So why would the Most High make a rule that's something that everyone else does not have? Everyone does not have gardens. People don't even know how to plant for that reason, right? So it's money. That's how you build churches. I can't build nothing with a cow. I can hope someone buys it. You see what I'm saying? But that's not even enough. It's more people than cows these days. So it's like, get off of that. Okay? You have to pay your tithes. Okay? And you don't got to worry about criminals here taking tithes. No one's flying around in a helicopter. If anybody flying somebody on something, we flying some people somewhere to do some work of Christ. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. All right. According to the scriptures, one must pay his tithes to support the work. A work cannot get done by you just sitting back listening and hopefully, because how can that man do the work if he got to go out and hustle all the time to come back and shepherd thousands of people? No, it don't work like that. I don't know why our people are the only people who don't understand that. You understood it when you went into the Christian church, though. Okay? So we had to get those naysayers out of here who actually come on here to listen, knowing they want the game, but then they're always going to have something to say. Just take the game, learn, and go do your little ministry you got. But it's best for you to come under elders so you can stay here and you don't get falling when that earth crack open. It's better for you to do that. Just keeping it real. Okay? So let's go to verse 23. We got to skip down. They were talking about separating the spoils or the reward after war. Look at Abraham, how merciful he is, how respectful he is, how honorable he is. Check it out. Verse 23. That I would not take from a thread even to a shoe latchet, and that I will not take anything that is thine, lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abraham rich, save only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men which went with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre, let them take their portion. So Abraham said, I'm good. Just give it to my servants. Okay? Honorable man. Honor. Okay? These are the kind of men we need. Not thieves. You got the nerve to steal from the Father, man. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. He's the one who's giving and providing everything. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay? So where are we going now? I want to show this really quick. We're going to go to the Book of Jasher really quick. I'll tell you what chapter. Give me one moment. Look, y'all know I've been in this Book of Jasher. Grinding. I done read this thing 3-4 times. It's my favorite book. Okay. It's time for me to get a new one, but gonna go to the Book of Jasher really quick. I want to show you the mindset of Abraham. To keep peace, to have charity. You know, the scriptures tell us to have charity. I want to show you something. The Book of Jasher, What chapter is this here? One moment. I want to get the chapter. Chapter 21, verse 11. Chapter 21, verse 11, the book of Jasher. Let me see if I have any more biblical things to go into first. So I can. Yeah, I do. Okay. Verse 11. And Abraham planted a large grove in Beersheba, and he made to it 4 gates facing the 4 sides of the earth. So Abraham, on his land, he had, gates, 4 gates. Okay. And he made, a vineyard and planted fruit trees and things along there so that strangers and homeless people who was traveling can come by and fill themselves. This is the thing. I'm trying to tell a lot of people that I'm not just talking about you got to be some type of wealthy, rich man. If you're a man like Christ, what did Christ do to that fish? He took that one fish and multiplied it. Multiplied that fish to feed many. He took those few fish and multiplied it to feed many. Check it out here. Seeds, when you buy them, are free. Take your hand, find you a shovel, find you a rake, all right, find you a pick, and plant you a garden if you have some room. If you have more than enough, sometimes give some to your neighbor. What are you doing like Abraham now? Making peace. You have food for your family. You know how to plant food. This is a man of Abraham. When we talk about men, I don't know how to plant a garden. You put a seed in, listen. Put that stick in the ground, make a hole, put in a seed. You know how to make a baby? You should know how to plant a garden. Straight up. Okay? It's the same thing. Take the stick, you put it in the ground, put the seed in there, you water it, and out comes life. Okay? This is what Abraham did. And check it out. When you have a child, it's no different than a tree or fruit tree. You want it to bear good fruit for Christ. So even in the physical, you see what I'm saying? Even in the physical, Abraham planted a garden for charity for the people. And I'm going to keep reading it here. No, I don't need nothing to drink just yet. I'm just, I was eating watermelon. I eat watermelon every day. I got me a big jug of water right here, by the way. Let's continue. And he made it to the 4 gates facing the 4 sides of the earth, and he planted a vineyard in it, so that if a traveler came to Abraham, he entered at any gate which was in his road, and he remained there and ate and drank and satisfied himself, and then he departed. So I got a lot of light around here, so sometimes I'm looking, you understand that these words like, man. For the house of Abraham was always open to the sons of men that passed and repassed, who came daily to eat and drink in the house of Abraham. And any man who had hunger and came to Abraham's house, Abraham would give him bread that he might eat and drink and be satisfied. And anyone that came naked to his house, he would clothe with garments as he might choose, and give him silver and gold. That's what Abraham was using his wealth for. Charity. He already surpassed the rich man who came with Christ. The rich man who came to Christ was talking about, I'm following all the commandments from from when I was young to now. Sell all you have and give to the poor. Christ was going to give him sevenfold, and he didn't even know that. See? But Abraham already had that faith. So was he a man like Abraham, even though he came from Abraham? All Israel is not of Israel. Those of you who are weak in this area, guess what? You're not fit for the kingdom of heaven. Read about what Abraham's doing right here. Okay. And any man, verse 13, and any man who had hunger and came to Abraham's house, Abraham would give him bread that he may eat and drink and be satisfied. And anyone that came naked to his house, he would clothe with garments as he might choose, and give him silver and gold, and make known to him the Lord who created him and the earth did this Abraham all his life. This is what we're supposed to be doing in our community and youth. This is what we're supposed to be doing to help assist certain men if we have been blessed with wealth, have been blessed with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's wealth above all physical wealth. Hand it down. That's worth more than silver and gold. Pass it down to the youth, like what we're doing right now. You see? That's what we're doing. We pass. I'm doing Abraham's works right now. I'm passing down this silver and this gold to you, this money, this game, whatever you want to call it, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I'm passing it down. This is what the elders do every day they teach lessons. This is what the deacons do every day they teach lessons. This is what the officers do every time they teach lessons. But also, if we've been blessed in our modern day terms, in his times, the money was what? Silver and gold. Our money is actual money. If sometimes somebody may need a little something, you may got a little extra. Hey, I'm going to bless you with this. We're not just giving it to beggars. We're giving it to the righteous. And if we want to invest in someone, we need to have some type of business plan and say, hey, I'm not just going to give you something to burn off and you just coming back. No. What's your plan? No different than the investors do. If you want me to invest in you, if you're an investor, you know that's what you're going to tell someone. So men, don't even come to think you just asking somebody for some money. You understand, and then you're just running off of the money. Don't even plan on paying people back or nothing like that. Not that every situation has to be like that, but we got to get out the sorry mind frame. A man coming to eat from another man's hand all the time with no work ethic, no way to try to bring back more talents like Christ said, that man is just not fit for the kingdom of heaven. You need to study. Like you need to study. Abraham studied. Found out about the Most High. See, you got to study to show yourself approved to the Most High, guys. If you don't know, you got to study. Let's go to Genesis 18 and 19. Check it out. This is for the men who's married or unmarried. We got to make sure we have our houses in order to be like men like Abraham. If the wife is running you, it's obviously she's either a Jezebel or something that you're not doing for her to be able to respect you. Because at the end of the day, a woman knows a real man. A Jezebel don't know a real man, though. I will say that. A Jezebel thinks she's a real man. That's why. So if you got sisters out there, you think you're a Jezebel? Hey, I don't know what to tell you. You ain't gonna make it too long. I'm just keeping it real with you. You're not gonna make it. Those Jezebels is not fit for the kingdom of heaven. That's why Christ said, you let Jezebel run my church. Jezebel will not run Houston. I can tell you right now. You better ask somebody. It will not run Houston. Not Jezebel in women or Jezebel in spirit in men. You see what I'm saying? Period. You got to listen. Ha! Yeah, right. They tried in my youth in this church, and we had mercy and mercy and mercy. But it will not happen. You got too many sisters working hard, trying to be Sarah and do right for us leaders to come this far and allow Jezebel to come and run our church. It is not happening. Y'all heard what I said? Y'all want to write in again? Period. It's not going down. And you can try to come sly and do the. Listen, we already know all the dark sentences, all the wise words, all the gifts will not blind the eyes of the wise over here. Period. Okay? Yeah. Genesis 18 and 19. Okay? And please, when you guys send emails, listen, respect your elders. Why am I saying it? Because you're supposed to send emails about something of what the show is about or something important. You're not going to personally just be talking to me like that. First of all, I'm married. And there's no thing where you're going to be between me and you. No, it don't go down like that. So I got to put that out there. We got to have more honor as a people. I'm just saying. Okay? I love the Most High. and what we have to do for him. Genesis 18:19 says, "For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him." There's no other way, right, that the Most High could have brought something through Abraham if he was not following the law, statutes, and commandments. He had his house in order. So if you're one of these people, even now today, who are bringing up and rearing up your children like Abraham, like our forefathers in righteousness, your children will be used to fill our new generation in our kingdom, to rule it. See? Not the evil people. Those people were going to be done away with very soon. Those who don't want to follow, who are lukewarm. Our kingdom we're seeking is coming soon. We're not seeking this kingdom here. We need what we need as a purpose. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit to eat good, eat healthy. We understand you need some things to eat healthy, have your, a respectful, nice, clean place to stay. That comes with this life, but we really are seeking the life to come. So he knew that Abraham would do such. Let's go to 2 Ezra 14 and 13 really quick. Right? 2 Ezra 14 and 13 says what? "Now therefore, set thine house in order, and reprove your people, thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption." He's saying the same thing as Abraham. Abraham is saying the same thing as him. Right? See? So we have to have our house in order. That's what Abraham did. So that's what Ezra said. See? What time we got here? I'm going to go into Josephus just really quick. It's the works of Josephus. Boy, I read this whole book. This was a really nice book. I read it back in my youth when I was in this work. I'm going to have to read it again. I go in here a lot sometimes, but it's a great book. I tell you that. So we're going to go to Josephus. I think it's Antiquities of the Jews. Book 1, chapter 8. Antiquities of the Jews, chapter 8. Okay, book 1. And we'll skip and we'll go to all the way down to verse 167, because I was going to read a little bit more, but I want to get to the video as well. So I'm going to go to verse 167, because Abraham was also a teacher. You see? So when you go to other nations, you got to be a light to other nations like Christ was. Abraham was doing this too. So he had Christ in him, right? So verse 167, "Whereupon he was admired by them in those conferences as a very wise man, and one of great sagacity, when he discoursed on any subject he undertook. And this not only in understanding it, but in persuading other men also to assent to him. He communicated to them arithmetic, and delivered to them the science of astronomy. For before Abraham came into Egypt, they were unacquainted with those parts of learning. The rest of the world, through us knowing Christ with the correct doctrine, is unacquainted with these things until he sent his new teachers and prophets. I mean, new teachers, not prophets. His new teachers to prophesy the word of the prophets of old. That's what I mean. Okay, so the rest of the world don't know this doctrine of Christ. They don't know these holy days on this right day. They know of the old ways. So now, just like Abraham, to be men like Abraham, we have to teach this doctrine of Christ to the people, to separate them from not God himself. We're still going to be followers of Christ, what they call Christians today, but we're going to follow him in the right way. Okay, this is not no competition thing. We're here to now do what kind of how John the Baptist was making a way for Christ. Okay, they made a way for you guys to understand Christ a little bit. Now we're just going to give you the rest of the way so that you can finish. Okay, that's all we're saying here. So they were unacquainted with those parts of learning, for that science came from the Chaldeans into Egypt, and from thence to the Greeks also. So listen, these people did not understand what the Most High taught Abraham. That's like in the Book of Enoch, the records of Jasher and things like that. Abraham had these records, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that he was trying to teach the Egyptians when they thought that they knew something. Right? You see? So how can you be a teacher if you don't have experience, young man or man? Or if you don't study to show yourself approved? If you don't know how to be a great listener? That's how you can become a man like Abraham. God, the Most High, was guiding him along the way, giving him experience. Same thing for Moses. He was being taught in the house of Pharaoh. Right? So down the line, he had to go through trials and tribulations, being in prison or jail for 10 years, being among rulership in Ethiopia, to then come back plus 20 years after to free the children of Israel. Joseph had to go through jail, go through experience of being a servant. I don't follow no man. Are you better than Joseph? Are you better than Moses? I think not. Crickets. Right? Straight up. Men have to go through trials and tribulations as gold being tried in the fire. Yes, Moses did. You can read in the Book of Jasher. Even you can read in the Bible that he was in jail. When Jethro did not bring him food and his daughter was bringing him food and water or whatever. So, yes. So these brothers didn't just get some type of knowledge and come to deal or govern or rule over the children of Israel right away. They had to go through something. I want to be a leader in 6 months. Where they do that at? Not in the Bible. Yeah, crickets. Yeah, see? Let them know. Crickets. Right? So what are we going to go to now? Let's go to, man. So this is what we'll do. Yeah. I want to go through this. Let's go to 2 Timothy 2:15 real quick, because I'm going to say that last Jasher. I want to show you, because some of you probably haven't read that part. Yeah, it's pretty funny how Satan does. Satan is a character. It's just how he uses news in Hollywood to try to scare people. Excuse me, here's people trying to send me messages while I'm on the show. Sorry. One moment. 2 Timothy 2:15. Y'all know this one already, right? 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show yourself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Young men, you're not studying enough to be able to lead the household. You only work and provide money. That's not enough to lead a young woman or a nation. I promise you, you have to study. You don't have to know everything, but you have to know the basics of the Bible. Okay? Even if you're not going to teach and lead the whole world, you have to know enough to be able to keep your family and your household in order. Everything you need is there. And the things you don't need, ask your area leader or your elder or your deacon or whatever. Right? Okay, so what did I want to go to there? Yeah, this is important. Romans 10:2. Romans 10:2. Come on, y'all, get Romans 10:2. Bear with me. Romans 10:2. Romans chapter 10, verse 2. This is important here, so we understand that we have a great zeal for the Most High, but not in something. Romans 10:2 says, "For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge." For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High. They love the Most High. But my people don't love them according to the ways that I would have them to love and follow me. They follow me with their own ways. They pouring out liquor. They like, you know, doing all of that. Yeah. God knows me. He loves me. He loves you. But you need to know how to love him, he's saying here. For I know you love me, but you don't love me according to the way that I'm telling you to, is what it's saying here. Verse 3, for they being ignorant or not knowing God's righteousness. So for them who are new listening, for they being ignorant of God's righteousness or not really knowing how to follow him exactly the right way and going about to establish their own ways of righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. You're establishing your own way in your mind of how you should follow God. That's not the way you follow God. He's already given it to you here. Okay? Follow Christ and what he said, and you'll be in the safe zone. But you got to do it all the way. You can't pick here, pick there, and no. And it's going to take some work. It's not some overnight thing. Nothing in this world comes easy. We know that, right? 1 Peter 3:7. We gotta move this thing now. We gotta move this thing. Okay. Yeah, I know. Listen, as time goes by, listen. You start smelling that food back there. No, I'm just joking, guys. Right. 1 Peter 3:7. Because when you get married, right, young man, or you want to get married, you have to have knowledge of what we're talking about now. Look at Abraham. Had it all together. Finances. He's delegating. He's a ruler. He's a lead. I'm not saying you're going to be a delegator. You may never be a delegator. But you have to be able to lead your wife at least. You have to be able to lead one sheep and your children. Right? So, we need to study to show yourself approved to do such a thing. If your woman is leading you, that's more so situations where a woman have probably found out this truth first and her husband don't know. She can guide him and help him. But eventually he needs to say, hey, I'm the one, according to what I'm reading here, I'm the one supposed to be running this thing. I need to step my study game up. So for guys who are not married or married who don't know that, this is the thing we got to do. And we have to understand the image of the Most High, how he made the Holy Spirit, how he made man. See? We have to reason with logic. We cannot reason with emotion ever and make a decision. Ever. Period. Okay? 1 Peter 3:7. Because some of you guys are older men still, probably even past your 20s, but still don't know this part. And it's okay. Because things we were not taught, how are we going to do them? So today you're getting taught it. And then through all the lessons that the elders give, through all the scriptures that are written. 1 Peter 3:7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife. It's not saying wives, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Because if you guys are not in unison, if you're not, when two come together, you become one, right? When two are gathered together in my name, I'm in the midst. But when you guys are separate in mind, how can Christ be there? Christ can't be there. He can probably be with one of y'all because one of y'all is doing right. But to have more power in that house, to have more, you understand, force in that house, two walk together and they agree, that's more power for the Most High. You'll see houses where it's lacking because that is not present. Okay? So I'm speaking from experience. I know, I counsel, listen, I'm just saying, I've been around a long time. So I know our people all do the same things. And after time, you look at it and you look at the scripture and say, there's some blessings coming to this hospital because that woman or that man is not really one together with their other half. It could be actually doing better. They have a lot of potential. But they got to fix that. Right? 1 Peter 3:8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren. Be pitiful and courteous, not rendering evil for evil, or railing for railing. Hold up one moment. Am I still in the right? No, this is what I want to do. This is not I just wanted to read that scripture. That's why. Let's go to, sorry about that. I just wanted to go to 1 Peter 3:7. I wasn't supposed to go past it. Ephesians 5:24 through 31. That's going to finish that part off. Sorry about that. One moment here. Yeah. Because it was going somewhere else than I wanted it to go. Ephesians 5:24 through 31. Don't forget, you new people, the scriptures must be precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. I'm going to take you from there to here to help you to fully understand what I'm talking about, like the scripture says. Okay? Ephesians 5:24 through 31. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Listen, we just going to read what the Bible says. We're not going to get personal here. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Okay? And we're trying to teach the men how to be like men like Christ and men like our forefathers, men like Abraham. The more you follow what we've read here tonight, men, your job will be a little bit easier. Your life will be a little bit easier. It will continue to be easier. Your wife will have more respect for you. But until then, wives, you still got to do what you're supposed to do and pray for your husband, and even vice versa if it's the other way around. And this thing will work itself out. Each of you is supposed to look in these scriptures to make sure you're fitting according to what the scriptures say you're supposed to be fitting, okay? As the image of the Most High. The Holy Spirit is not up there telling the Most High what to do. So, man, you have to get into your position to rule and to dominate, okay? Loving your wives, as it says here in verse 5 and 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Okay, so he died for this church. Is it telling you kill yourself? Of course, you got to be an idiot to think that. It's telling you to be that frontliner so your wife can have your back. If there's danger, you're stepping in the front. If they need some food, you're stepping in the front. If they need this done, you're stepping up to the plate. You're not looking for her to be stepping up to the plate. Like, baby, you be the frontliner. Is they still there? What? No. Okay? So, verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. So, moolah and money is not enough. Because when the money is gone, who will you be to the Most High? Money is needed as a purpose now. But if there's no money, who are you outside of money, rich man? Can you lead your wife with the word? Okay? Verse 27. That he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. You got to get your wife on point to let her know. Nah, baby, we ain't doing that. Now, this is what we're going to do right here, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. According to this is, you want to follow? You go pray for her. And you keep it moving, then hopefully your prayers get answered. But we talking about really a wife who's going to work with you. Okay, yes, baby, I understand what you're saying. That's the type of wife we're talking about. Because if it's another wife who argue you down with that, it ain't nothing else you can do but pray. I'm going to tell you right now. And hope. And get some counsel and hope. What I'm talking about is an actual wife who actually listens to grow. Who self-examines to grow. If you're reading the Bible with your wife, and there's an argument when you read the wicked woman scripture, obviously, sister, you got some self-examination to do. He's not reading that to say that that's you. That's just a part of the next chapter. Unfortunately, but if you're getting angry, there must be something in you. If you read that, you should be like, oh, that ain't me. Oh, man. Or even if it's something you're doing, I got to make sure I stop doing that. Simple. Okay? We've had so many counsels on that Ecclesiasticus. You understand? My goodness. Okay? This ain't no woman against men, women against women thing. Listen. You can't say the man got to be doing this for me to follow. You got with that man before that he was even following this. That was your fault. You opened the scissors to that man. Okay? And guess what? You was not telling him when you opened the scissors that he should have been following these things. So now you must have patience. Facts. Okay? Hey, you didn't have patience there, but you need to have patience now with him because you didn't have patience in the first place. The scriptures tell us, in patience possess ye your souls. Okay? Let's go to verse 27. And the same thing for you, man. If she was not, and it's okay, we all learn. We probably picked the wives at first for the physical thing. But now we need to have patience as long as we can. Unless one person just like, I'm hitting the road. There's nothing you can do if a person just decided to hit the road. But let's try to have patience and pray, seek counsel, and then just do the best you can do for that. There's no one size fits all, but we're talking about for someone who wants to grow when they're married. The woman is going to listen, and she's looking at him. He don't know what he's talking about. So you better be studying, brother, for you to be looking crazy. You better call your area leader. Hey, bro, what this scripture mean? Oh, hey, baby. So, yeah, you know. Do what you have to do, man. Study. Study. Okay? Anyway, you want to do this so that you can have your wife on point when she comes around. That's what verse 27 is talking about. Not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. We can't force anyone to do anything. Everyone must seek out their own soul and salvation. But the scriptures just told us, wives, follow your husband, your own husband in everything. Not just when the elder says something. The elder says something, you're ready to follow. But you're not married to the elder. You're married to this man you see every day. You're just going to turn your back on him when the elder says something, you're ready to listen. That's why I have to say follow your own husband, because the scriptures know our sisters be. Elder said that. But you know what? Are you coveting, sister? Covet not thy neighbor's husband or wife. Or, my brother, are you not representing that man of Abraham to where your sister, she had to look forward to something? See? Towards something else? But the scriptures gave us a commandment knowing how we will be wicked as a people, coveting other relationships and people. Focus on yours and build what the Most High blessed you with, guys. Work out, get yourself together in shape, do what you guys got to do, study together, pray together, walk together, do whatever you need to do, start your family business together, have your children on point, not to compete with nobody else, but to do what the Most High called us all to do. Be fruitful and multiply. It's not only talking about just multiply children, but multiply the talents that I have given you to better the generations. Right? So, all right. Verse 28, so ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man had ever hated his own flesh, but nourished it and cherished it, even as the Lord of the church. For we are members of his body, of the flesh and bones. For this cause a man shall leave his father and mother. We ain't staying at home, at daddy and mama house all day. It's telling you right here. Ephesians 5:31 says it's time to leave mommy and daddy's nest. Okay? Unless you paralyzed, they taking care of you, sick or something, that's different. We got different situations like that. But we talking about able-bodied men of the Most High. The work is plenteous, but the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pure men, we missing them. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they shall two be one flesh. You're going to leave the nest. You're going to do what you got to do. You're going to read about Abraham, see what he was doing. You're going to work so hard to where after time comes, the Most High will continue to bless you because he's watching everything you do. He deserves this. He deserves that. He's been working hard, blah, 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 blah. Everything. And then now, not only your wife respect you. Oh, my brother do this. He do that. He can help you with this. Your mama respect you. Oh, baby, I just fell a little behind. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about that, mama. Whoop. Listen, mama, we ain't talking about every rent, though. Okay? No. I'm just saying, but as time goes by, it may be different situations where it's like, hey, you're able to even help in different situations of family member. They looking at you as an anchor. They looking at you as a leader or a ruler, because the Most High have blessed you. Anyway, all jokes aside, man. we're just going to go to the last scripture before we go into the video. The last scripture, and I can't read the whole thing. You all are going to have to read it on your own, but it's very good. The Book of Jasher. In that same chapter, let's see here. What did I say that chapter was? Did I say 21? Excuse me, one moment. You know what, guys? Did I tell y'all the wrong chapter last time? I probably did. I think I might have said 21, but I meant 22. Chapter 22. But we're going to a different, nope. This is a new chapter. Chapter 23. But last time I meant 22 is what I wanted to say. Chapter 23. And one moment. I'm going to read through this one kind of fast if I can. Excuse me. Chapter 23, verse 20, because I kind of gotta skip some verses. I gotta read this one though. Book of Jasher, chapter 23, verse 20. And Abraham went with Isaac. And y'all gotta bear with me. Y'all know sometimes these lessons can be 4 hours, 5 hours. So this is nothing for y'all. It's just a little late because some of y'all gotta go to work, but you can watch it tomorrow if you can't finish it. The Book of Jasher, chapter 23, verse 20. Yeah, verse 20. And Abraham went with Isaac, his son, to bring him up as an offering before the Most High, as he had commanded him. So Abraham, once again, in his life had to have faith. In our lives, sometimes we have to do certain things that we know is going to take faith. And we probably don't fully understand it. Like Abraham didn't fully understand what the Most High was saying when he was saying offer Isaac. But he said, I'm going to do what he's telling me to do. Sometimes we're told in life, we got to do this, we got to do that. And we may not know what's on the other side. But through our faith, we got to do it. Through my faith, I left, you understand, Babylon, and didn't know what I was coming to. And I was very fervent and diligent to continue however long I had to, believe it or not. My mind is just like that. Whatever I believe, I believe. Okay? So, with my actions, I'm saying. Verse 20, and Abraham went with Isaac, his son, to bring him up as an offering before the Most High, as he commanded him. And Abraham took 2 of his young men with him, Ishmael, the son of Hagar, and Eliezer, his servant, and they went together with him. And whilst they were walking in the road, the young men spoke these words to themselves. Now, I want you to pay attention to something very closely, how they did not call Ishmael his son. They didn't call Ishmael Abraham's son. They called Isaac, in verse 20, his son, and Ishmael, the son of Hagar. Okay? It's not that Gentiles don't matter. Yes, they can accept Christ, but I want you to understand how a man had to focus on his heir. Even though he may be taking care of something else, he's going to love them the same and all that. They all going to be taken care of, but he had to really focus on his heir, which the Most High was bringing the promise through here. That's why it's telling you that. It says in verse 21, and Abraham took 2 of his young men. That's what it said there. Okay? So let's go to 22. And Ishmael said to Eliezer, now my father Abraham is going with Isaac to bring him up for a burnt offering to the Lord as he commanded him. Now, when he returneth, he will give unto me all that he possesses. And this is one of the reasons why. Because Ishmael is jealous. In his spirit, he's a jealous guy. Don't even know what he's talking about. No, brother, it ain't coming to you. And this is the thing. Ishmael's blessing on the earth, he probably got one of the best blessings out of the sons. Look how rich the Saudis are when it comes to oil. Rich. So don't think because he was, stepson, all that, he was blessed. He was taken care of. But the spiritual blessing that was coming through his heir had to be Isaac, which is why Isaac was the one that was, he was being tested with as far as the sacrifice. Okay. All right, let's continue. Now, my father Abraham is going with Isaac to bring him up for a burnt offering. So Ishmael shouldn't be jealous because they balling out right now. They need to enjoy their blessing. They got oil on oil on oil. Okay. This is how y'all say racks on racks on racks. They got oil on oil on oil. Okay. So verse 22, and Ishmael said to Elijah, now my father Abraham is going with Isaac to bring him up for a burnt offering to the Lord as he commanded him. Now when he returned, he will give unto me all that he possesses to inherit after him, for I am his firstborn. No, you're not. And Elijah answered Ishmael and said, surely Abraham did cast thee away with thy mother and swear that thou shouldest not inherit any of the thing of all he possesses. And to whom will he give all that he has with all his treasures? But unto me, his servant, who has been faithful in his house, who has served him night and day, and has done all that he desired me. They arguing like the disciples. Which one of us is going to be greatest? The one who's humble like these little children. See, the blessing ain't one for none of y'all. Y'all already blessed. Abraham took care of you as a servant. Okay, and he took care of you as someone who didn't have the promise. Y'all already taken care of it, and you plotting on Isaac's blessing. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't nobody being cold against Elijah. Elijah was a good brother. Ishmael was a good brother in these scriptures. But we can't. Why we got to feel bad about who the Most High brought the promise through? No. Okay. That's another thing about Abraham. You got to listen. You have to be able to take care of your family. You got to be able to, like I said, have that faith of what the Most High is trying to tell you to do. And some things he's like, well, what about Ishmael? Listen, the Most High is telling you something to do. You better do it, or all of them blessings you got, you won't have. He said, I'm going to bless Ishmael. He blessed Ishmael. Ishmael is balling out more than we are. I can tell you that right now. In the flesh, at least. All right. Let's go to 25. So they're arguing about what don't belong to them. And while Abraham was proceeding with his son Isaac along the road, Satan came and appeared to Abraham in the figure of a very aged man. So some of y'all didn't know that the devil can turn into different things. Okay? He's a magician, guys. Satan came and appeared to Abraham in the figure of a very aged man, humble and of a contrite spirit. So he came humble and of a contrite, repentant spirit, as if he was just humbled to the floor. That's how some of us get fooled through people's emotions and because we think that they're good people. Well, is God going to bless this person because I know them every day? They're a good person. You don't know who you're dealing with. That's why when it said make you friends of mammon, I was trying to tell y'all, just because someone's a good person don't mean that they're unrighteous. They're not unrighteous. That they have to follow according to Christ. Anyone who comes through another door is a thief and a robber, regardless of how nice they may seem to you. Okay? Let's go back. Satan came and appeared to Abraham in the figure of a very aged man, humble and of a contrite spirit. And he approached Abraham and said to him, art thou silly or brutish that thou goest to do this thing this day to thine only son? For the Most High gave thee a son in thy latter days, in thy old age, and wilt thou go and slaughter him this day, because he committed no violence, and without cause the soul of thine only son to perish from the earth? So here he is. He's acting like he cared for Isaac. He don't care for Isaac. He don't care for him. You see what I'm saying? He don't care for him. Give me a little water, y'all. Sorry, real quick. Gotta give me a little water. I got the big jug today because I'm be working out. Ooh, yeah. That's that good distilled water. I'm refreshed now. So, where are we? Let's go to verse 27. Dost thou not know and understand that this thing cannot be from the Lord? So he's like, you know what the people say in modern day, the Lord wouldn't tell me to do that. The Lord wouldn't tell you to do that. Right? For the Lord cannot do unto man such evil upon earth to say to him, go slaughter thy child. So Abraham had to stay focused. And Abraham heard this and knew that it was the word of Satan, who endeavored to draw him aside from the way of the Lord. But Abraham would not hearken to the voice of Satan, and Abraham rebuked him so that he went away. On our mission, we have to stay focused. Exactly. A person said, sound like the government in healthcare. Exactly. See, and we going to be careful talking about that because we want to keep this channel. But I know exactly what y'all are talking about. Exactly. They trying to come humble. Well, your mother has, she's sick here or she has cancer, this and that. Try to get the money from y'all. You see what I'm saying? And, we know different situations where some people actually do have these things. But we're talking about when they try to use deception. Right? You got even dentists who will do this. Tell you got all types of cavities. When I went to another dentist, they was like, your son got one cavity. This dentist over here talking about, oh, he got all. No, that's not true at all. So what about vitamin K2? Can that actually bring cavities back? Oh, I don't know. It's just fluoride. Oh yeah, you're a liar. You're a liar. I know it can because it already has done it. See? So this is how Satan is coming here. Let's go to verse 28. No, verse 29. And Satan returned and came to Isaac, and he appeared unto Isaac in the figure of a young man, comely and well favored. So now he's turned into a young man. And he approached Isaac and said unto him, dost thou not know and understand that thy old silly father bringeth thee to the slaughter this day for naught? So he didn't just change right in front of him. He's waiting till they continue to walk, because it's already people that's probably out there, and he's coming as if he's one of those people in the neighborhood somewhere. Right? Verse 31. Now therefore, my son, do not listen or attend to him, for he's a silly old man, and let not thy precious soul and a beautiful figure be lost from the earth. Because Isaac didn't fear death, Satan couldn't do nothing to him. Verse 32. And Isaac heard this and said unto Abraham, hast thou heard, my father, that which this man has spoken, even thus he has spoken? And Abraham answered his son Isaac and said to him, take heed of him and do not listen to his words, nor attend to him, for he is Satan, endeavoring to draw us aside this day from the commands of God. And Abraham still rebuked Satan, and Satan went from them. And seeing he could not prevail over them, he hid himself from them and went and passed before them in the road. And he transformed himself into a large brook of water in the road. And Abraham and Isaac and his two young men reached that place, and they saw a brook large and powerful as the mighty waters. And they entered the brook and passed through it, and the waters at first reached their legs. Right? And they went deeper in the brook, and the waters reached up to their necks, and they were all terrified on account of the water. And while as they were going over the brook, Abraham had recognized that place, and he knew that there was no water there before. Abraham went through all of this to follow the Most High, whatever it took. Water all the way up to his neck. See? Satan was trying to do everything to stop him from his mission, and he's doing the same thing to you, my brothers and my sisters. Even though we're talking about this lesson is about men, but right now we gotta, show the manifoldness of what's going on here for all of us, right? So, 37, and Abraham said to his son Isaac, I know this place in which there was no brook or no water. Now, therefore, it is Satan who does all this to us, to draw us aside this day from the commands of God. And Abraham rebuked him and said unto him, the Lord rebuke thee, O Satan. Be gone from us, for we go by the commands of the Most High. That means I am in the name of the Savior. And Satan was terrified at the voice of Abraham, and he went away from them, and the place again became dry land as it was at first. So because he realized, hold up, this is just some type of mirage. This is just some type of magic or some type of satanic trick that they're trying to play. Just how they've been doing through the media. That's why they call it Hollywood. Because these people are magicians and warlocks and witches. See? So we can't be blinded by the fear that they try to bring when the Most High tries to, tell us to do certain things. Okay? We got to be able to go through certain things to come out like gold. Gold look rough. It goes through the rough times, but it comes out shining. One of the most, valuable metals on earth, right? So, and Satan was terrified, verse 39, at the voice of Abraham, and he went away from them. This is what we have to understand why they bring scary movies. They bring scary movies to program fear into you and your children. Their whole job this whole time was to get us to fear, 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 fear. Don't you know these demons fear you? These demons fear you, even the one who's over them. So when we get serious and we rise up and we're about the Most High's business like Christ was, that's when we're going to be able to handle Satan like nothing. When you don't fear death. If you don't fear death, why would you fear going to get a job? Why would you fear going to start a business? Why would you fear all the things it takes to be a man like Christ and Abraham? Okay. Verse 39, I'm going to read it again for you. And Satan was terrified. This is the book of Jasher. This is the upright and the correct record. This ain't no lie here. Satan was terrified of a righteous man, forcefully, diligently, right? Going about his way of the Most High. And Satan was terrified at the voice of Abraham, and he went away from them, and the place again became dry land as it was at first. It's just like me. Every time I feel like I'm trying to do something, it'd be something so small trying to get in the way sometimes in life. But the great thing about me, I just stay calm and find a way around it. I know the devil gets tired. Like, this boy ain't gonna stop. He ain't gonna give up. I know some of you are the same way. Regardless of what the devil brings your way, you don't stop. He that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. Right? Verse 40, and Abraham went with Isaac toward the place that God had told him. So this is the thing. I can't continue the whole way with this because I got to show you guys the updates on the land. Okay. So what happened was Abraham went through with it, and make sure you read that. Abraham went through with it. Don't forget that was the Book of Jasher, chapter 23. Abraham went through with it. One of my favorite books. How they be making all their war movies is coming out of the Book of Jasher, by the way. They stealing from us and our records. He went through with it. Was almost going to get ready to, as you know, sacrifice Isaac. And the Most High said, Abraham, basically I was testing you, testing your faith. Now I know that, you're my servant, my faithful servant. And this boy, Satan, he was still trying to act crazy, right? He was still trying to act crazy. But I want you to read the rest of the story and understand what I'm saying here. To be a man like Abraham, he kept going. Anything that Satan did, I'm going around that. Whoop, going around that. Whoop, going around that. You see? Like you a football player. You know what I mean? It don't matter. Let's go through it. And if Satan want to keep coming with it, what we going to do on the football field? We going heads up. Bow. Okay? And that's just how you gotta. That's how you have to be for the mind of a man. You got to be willing to go all out for the Most High and for your family, right? So we're going to leave it there as far as scriptures go. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. Let me close this eastward, and I'm gonna show you guys. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you guys actually what we've been doing on the forum, and then I'll answer any questions that you guys may have after this. Okay, so I'm not done editing this video, so some of it does not have sound. I'm not done editing it yet, so I still have it on private. I will finish editing it, and it will be on my bodybuilding page. So I just uploaded it just to show a few things on the show of what we've been doing. So yeah, give me one moment here. Let me put this thing together for you guys. And one moment. Gotta make it look on point for y'all, and I might just do a little commentary for it. Okay. This is some of the things we've been doing on the land, okay? So here, my wife just was recording me while we were in the store. You understand, because we were actually trying to, when our land got flooded, we were looking for all of the items that we needed to be able to do what we needed to do for the land, okay, to stop our land from flooding. So we're getting perforated pipe and PVC hoses and sump pumps. And so I had to go and pick up a trencher. I think I've been talking to you guys about it. Yeah, that was a sump pump. It's one of the really nice sump pumps. It's not just the that wasn't even supposed to be on there because I ain't done editing. Okay. So that was just a comment. So yeah, believe it or not, this was my first time doing this. So just like Abraham, never done this before, not an expert, but it don't matter. I'm a man of my hands, and I get on there and I actually do what I have to do. Okay? So I actually had to tell my deacon alum to come out and help me to get that trailer out of there. I was not even used to driving these big trailers. But sometimes you need help. But you know, the whole deal is making sure you're not afraid to handle whatever you need to handle. Okay? Most of the stuff you see me doing my land is a first time thing, especially since I've been gone for so long. Right? So a lot of you ask, Elder, how you do this? How you do that? Listen, guys, sometimes this is my first time doing some of this stuff. Okay? But you see, I don't have no fear. I'm like, listen, hey, I study, I ask questions. You know, if I gotta watch a little YouTube, whatever the case may be, and I'm not a master just because I watch a YouTube video. You won't see me showing nothing that I don't already know. Okay? So I got that thing down. This is what I was talking about that day. We had just brung the actual trencher back, and the devil, just like we was reading in the Book of Jasher, came and stormed hell on us. It was not even supposed to hail. It was summertime. The devil came. Y'all won't even believe me. I'm trying to tell y'all. The radar said it was not even supposed to rain. Look at this. This is hell. As soon as I brought this, the devil was mad because he flooded our land and he didn't want us to improve. So just like when Isaac was going through that, I'm showing you right now. Do you see this hail dropping? It was hitting me in my face and everything. So I had to call the company and tell them, look, I didn't even get to trench that day because it had totally just hailed on us. Right? So I was going to be so pissed off. I had wasted my money. I almost paid almost $1,000 to rent this thing. Let me tell you, the devil was mad, y'all. Y'all just seen what I just seen. You seen hell come out of the sky. But then it soon stopped raining. So I said, you know what, forget this. I'm going to get back out there and work. I'm going to get back out there and work. The devil is not going to stop me today. Me and my wife was tripping like, are you kidding me? It said no rain. So you see me, I'm trenching to put down the PVC pipe because I just got tired. It just was raining for weeks. Y'all remember all that rain, right? It was raining for weeks. I mean, no one could do anything. I couldn't get any wood chips delivered, nothing, man. But I never give up, so. All right, that's so much water that the water, as I was trenching, some of the water was coming up into the trench that I was doing. Okay. Deacon Alum came out to help me. Look at Deacon Alum. That boy will listen. I got some great leaders and brothers over here in Houston, man. They come out there and put their hands to the plow. You know, Deacon Alum was off, you know, because he drive them 18-wheelers. He was getting his truck worked on. He came out there and assisted his beautiful brother. You know what I mean? And hey, there we go. We worked all the way till night, till like almost 1 in the morning. And then I sat my brother down like Abraham, and we ate some dinner together and laughed. And we drank wine together like beautiful brothers in Christ.
So basically,
I want you guys to see what's going on here. You know, my hands is muddy. I'm trying to get everything I can get. Got my brother here with me. You know, you ain't even gotta ask no questions. Just digging along. You know, hard working man out here. Man, believe it or not, our tractor got stuck. Our what's that? The trencher. And so we out Somebody here laughing saying it's beautiful, man. I meant to say Alon wasn't beautiful, brother. That's how I wasn't. Y'all crazy.
We got the PVC pipe over there my wife did. And then we got this perforated pipe. It has holes in there so it can catch groundwater and surface water. Digging a trench all around my shed. Still haven't been able to put my window in because the rain just haven't stopped. But the devil has been so busy. We came out here with the trencher yesterday. It just rained on us. It didn't used to even barely rain here. And it's like when I got here, we had a hater in the sky, right? But the Most High is still giving us grace. And don't forget, it's nothing that you're gonna get, you don't have to maintain. You're gonna get, you don't have to maintain. Y'all just don't know. Your leaders get down and dirty, but we do. We're not just talking, we are walking. And let me show you what type of boots how we walking. See, when they say we get out the mud, y'all see it. I ain't got to talk. Y'all thought I just dressed nice. I
had to call Deacon Alon to help me get this trailer out of there, man. I said, brother, I don't know how to work this thing here. So he came and assisted me, man. That's what brothers are for. And we had to wash it off before we bring it back, man. We told him, like, listen, man, believe it or not, this actual trencher had got stuck. And we had to call a record truck to get it out. So we had to dig the rest of the trench by hand. That's why y'all seen us out there digging it by hand. It got stuck, and I said, you know what? I'm not taking no more chances of this thing getting stuck. So we dug the rest by hand. But we did it. So right here, I'm getting some more dirt to help fill in some of the low spots. So I'm still working on that right now. Hadn't finished that yet. Okay, so I'm doing a lot of things as an elder, guys. I'm not just talking. I mean, I'm working this thing. Now, I want to give a thanks to my brother, Arthur Bryson. He's a new person in the church. He came out of the Christian church. He said, hey, elder, you know, I work for this company, such and such, and I can help you get some dirt delivered. I said, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. We need brothers like that in the body.
Today, guys, I'm out here on right before the Day of Atonement. It didn't work out today because I know, one thing about working out right before a fast, your body's going to have to try to make up for not eating food and try to replenish after a workout. So I didn't work out, but I guess you can call this a warm-up for me. I'm out here. I was digging a hole. This hole here is probably about 3 feet. And because the ground was so wet from all of the rain, it made it a little easier. Here I have a bucket, a catch basin, where if you have a flood situation going on, you run these type of perforated pipes, or they don't have to be perforated. The perforated means the ones that has holes in it so that the groundwater that comes up from the table, if it overflows, it actually can go into those holes, the ones that's not covered up by mud at least. Usually you would put rocks over that, but I just got this one. First of all, it's usually more expensive than the one that's closed. But I just got it because if some water can get in there, to help. Basically, the whole goal is, guys, it flooded in front of my house on the outside of my shed. These are called low spots. So I got a drain on that side of the shed. I have a drain over here. I have a drain over there. And all of these are ran with this perforated hose, and they're gonna dip down into this catch.
Yes, you heard a cat.
From the catch basin, we have something called a.
I didn't like cats before, but they help with the land with snakes and rats, and she already been killing rats and snakes. So praise the Most High for that cat. I like cats now.
I have 2 of those that I was actually dumping water all the way into my creek just to keep it dry from all the rain, guys. But what you have to do is usually, if you have land that's high enough over a creek, all you have to do is really just dig a trench. You can fill it with rocks. That will be called something like a French drain, all the way down, and just make it a drop. Or you can put drains along with that. Or you can do something like this.
But this is our problem. Our land is actually lower than our man-made creek. So what do we have to do? We have to actually take a sump pump that automatically comes on when the water gets up to 8 inches, okay? And when it gets back down, I think about 3 or 4, it shuts off automatically. So you won't just be wasting electricity. Because this sump pump here, if you keep it going without sucking water, then it actually will burn the motor, okay? So that's what we're doing here. We dug this 3 feet hole, 3.5, 4 feet, whatever it is. And, you know, we're going to now put the sump pump in there. We got this PVC here. This is 1 inch. You can use whatever size. You can actually use a bigger size, but just to save some money, we went with the smaller size because guess what? It's just pushing the water that it obtains in here all the way to the creek. Okay, so you're gonna connect that sump pump to this PVC with an elbow, and that's gonna shoot all the way down into that creek. And because we are not higher than the creek, guess what? The sump pump is gonna do the job for us because we've seen that it did it with these with a water hose all the way there. So now all the water is gonna run here, and then it's gonna run all the way down. You're talking about something that might be a $5,000, $10,000 job for something that you could do for about, I would say about including parts and including a trencher, because if you're gonna do it with, you know, a hand pick, you can save probably about, you can save about $1,000 with the hand pick. But timing is very important. But what I realized is that I could have spent $2,000 on a walking trench and did it myself. But it is what it is. We learn these things. And yeah, I spent about $2,000 roughly, you know, a little bit over $2,000 here and there. But I would say that it was worth it. That's all I have for you guys today. And don't be afraid to get out here and do the work. Because guess what? Our forefathers, like King David, they used to hop off the throne to go fight on the front line with the soldiers, with the warriors. And guess what? I don't know how to not be a frontliner. It just is what it is. And not only that, we got the angels going before us and Christ going before us and the Holy Spirit. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is going to be the stability of our times. That's all I have for you guys today. Just a very short and brief video just to show you, don't be afraid when you have low spots in your land. Not only that, after we are finished, we're actually going to raise the height of this ground with some common field dirt that we got today. We have something here over here called select field. I don't really like it too much. You can get it, but you have to come back over it with some sand or with some common.
Make sure you hit that like button if you're just coming in. Hit that like button.
So don't sink right into it. And then you can put your sod or your grass. This is what we're learning. Everything is a learning lesson. And yeah, I am very grateful because there's a brother in the church who, I'm not gonna say he hooked me up, but he blessed me with some of this dirt for a great price. And that's the great thing about being a body. So many talents, so many different skills, different jobs, and things where we can actually help each other. So that's all I have for you guys today. And I just wish everyone peace and blessings. I'm out. Get it out the mud.
So listen, I come outside one night, I said, good Lord, what is this, like The Walking Dead? I said, I gotta be ready. Listen, I got that shotgun, I got to be ready out here.
I got this little snake. I don't really like snakes. I was trying to get something to get, you know, for camping. But I'm gonna get ready to take this to my chickens. I'm gonna show you something. And it's pretty strong. For how small it is, I can feel his little body. He's so strong. Very strong. Look, look, look. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that fight. Ooh. Look at that. My chickens don't play no game. She got it in her mouth. What she gonna do with it? Yeah.
Cut!
Oh, no, what? Keep that in there. Yes.
Cut!
Oh. Keep it in there. There it is.
So this is me and my stepsons out here finally being able, after all of that rain, to put some trees in. So we're putting a pine tree in, we put an oak tree in, and we got some more of those coming pretty soon.
So yeah, you're gonna see so many trees, you're gonna think it's a forest. So I know a lot of people buy land and think, oh, maybe don't have trees. Put the trees yourself. Stop worrying about it and put the trees. You can get big trees. You can get small trees. Whatever you can afford, that's what you get. But you can put the trees there. I personally like to get the big trees as much as possible because we ain't gonna be here that long. You gotta have a bad little bounce soon.
He be saying some crazy stuff.
I'd have been a good slave back then. He said they had to pay a lot for me.
Crazy.
He said, you see them cuts? They'd have had me up in the big house.
So that's what me and my stepsons is putting a tree in. We was a clowning, man. We was like, how hard. I was like, man, how hard you work, you'd have been a good slave. It was a joke. You know what I mean? We just clowning around, man, having fun while we doing this work. You know, you can't be too stiff while you're doing work, man. We just really having so much fun while we doing this. They were really excited to see the land, you understand, being worked on, and to see trees and stuff coming in the ground, man. So, yeah, man, it just, all of my family work together. And that's just the only thing, as a man of Abraham, I allow. If you don't want to do that, you can't come around me. So I'm teaching y'all how it goes. You don't want to do that, you stay away. If you do, you can come around me. So they will know how it's supposed to be when they come around you as a man. You have to be that leader. You have to be that role model, okay? You have to set the tone, set the stage for the whole family, okay? Leaders set the tone. Christ set the tone for us, so we have to follow his way, okay? Right now we're loosening up the roots or whatever, okay? To make sure that those roots, when you put them in the ground, spread. Actually, I fertilized this as well before I put it in the ground. We'll talk about different fertilizers in the near future, because I know people have their own ways and some things they want to do a certain way, some they don't. So, yeah, we worked hard, and I got some temporary little stakes in the ground. I bought some taller ones now. Just to make sure as the winter comes, when the wind blows, this tree doesn't snap or blow down. So, yeah. Say, Elder, you got the Project Jocks. Oh, my goodness. These people are something else. So here you see us putting grass and... you see us putting grass and brown mulch or wood chips, because carbon and nitrogen keep they actually break the compost down. They bring the heat to break the compost down, and in the wintertime this tree will stay warm, and eventually when spring comes it will break down its compost to feed this tree. It will keep it warm, it will keep it moist. It does all of the above. You guys already know that, right? We put a PVC there so we can eventually train the roots to take the water from below. So I'm working on the riding lawnmower here because the belt popped off, because we got to keep that grass cut. So we doing all of this on the land. I'm showing you how to be a man like Abraham. We got to work. I got connections with people. Now they bringing me wood chips. See, you got to be an ambassador. You got to be an ambassador.
See what happened, man.
Oh, shit. We're busy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been busy. You know, I've been trying to mix laws and stuff, so yeah, that's why I feel like I have to really...
Listen, I'm an ambassador, guys.
It ain't gonna come right here. Look where it ain't gonna spread over. It's just spread right there. That's gonna go the sewage thing.
This right here will save you a lot of money if you get this wood chips and then you take your grass. Boy, that compost, listen, you have a quick compost. Wood chips and grass alone make a perfect compost. A perfect compost. Nitrogen and carbon. My little daughter on the camera. My other little daughter. We'll talk about one day the different uses of wood chips and how they can help your land and just so many things. And they start a pretty good fire. If you listen, they start a fire pretty quick.
Getting these wood chips,
and it's for free.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of the best things for your land, and it's free.
I have this thing on my dreads because as I'm working outside cutting grass, I didn't want all of these things in my hair. So I had to have me a dread cap. Because the last thing I want is to be filthy dirty, having spiders and crap in my head in my dreads. Oh no, we don't roll like that.
So guys, we just got this wood chip pile delivered. So the great thing about it, at first I used to be a little angry when we used to get wood chips and then they would have leaves in it. Until I forgot, I said, you know what? The Most High is perfect. He actually gave me a heated pile. Okay, a hot pile, excuse me. So what you want when you have compost is nitrogen and carbon. So you're probably like, well, what do we have here? The brown is your nitrogen. Is your carbon. The green is your nitrogen. When you have nitrogen and carbon together, they make a hot pile. Just take a look. Look at that pile smoking. Why don't you zoom into that? That pile is already smoking. Okay? That's what makes a pile hot. Even here, look. You see that? Beautiful. All you have to do is keep it watered every now and then. It's just smoking all over the place. And in wintertime, when you need to keep some of your plants hot, all you have to do is put some of this around it. Nitrogen and carbon is going to bring heat to your plants, and they're going to be okay. And it's already starting its own fungus. We want that fungus, okay? Okay, we want that fungus because that fungus, eventually when we take some of this after it's done being broken down and put it, on our plants, it will help to create fungus that will actually bring water, you understand, to the plants and different things like that, and bring nutrients. We're going to have Brother Stan on it to explain it in a very intellectual way very soon. I do understand it, but we want Brother Stan to come on very soon to help you to understand what it's all about. Anyway, I'm actually not going to use all of this for planting. I'm going to use some of this for some low spots in my land, and next year it will have turned to a small amount to add to my topsoil. So we'll be getting more wood chips anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. It's actually going to help you understand to fix my land up. So that's all I have for you guys right now. I'm just excited. Who would be so excited to get something like this? I will. So, peace and blessings. Look at that thing. What's going on, guys? So I just wanted to show you really quick how this actually works. So like I said, once the sump pump fills up about 8 inches of water, then it will spill out into our drainage creek right here. This is not a pond, this is not a bayou, this is a drainage creek that they made before we bought the property so it does not flood on the land. And it goes throughout all of these lands, but we have some low spots that we have to fill in. And so there you go. See that? Job well done. Praise the Most High. Check that out. Look at how fast it pushes out. Okay? Look at that. And our creek, we have a pretty big creek. It's probably a few hundred feet. So it can hold all of this water, and if this water gets too much soon, I'm gonna run another drainage system out to the outside creek of our property, which then goes into another leaching field. I just wanted to show you guys that it worked, and that don't be afraid to be a man like Abraham, to put your hands to the plow, to have faith in the things that you may not understand, the things that you may not be able to see right away. Just trust in the Most High. There'll be obstacles along the way, but just make sure that you continue and you're fervent and that you're diligent, and the Most High will see that you've passed the test to open the door for you for success. Peace and blessings. It's your boy Lion, Elder Rawchaa. I'm out.
So yes, guys, we wanted to show you guys that before we before we broke out or whatever, and hopefully you guys see everything and saw everything that we are actually doing on the land. And hey, every time, every month, I'm going to just be Most High willing, if it be His will, getting new trees, getting more fruit trees, to where I have my own little Garden of Eden until it's time to do the Babylon bounce. And these trees are assets. You have food. You understand? I'm going to do the same thing like Abraham, be planting things along the way. In case times get hard, people got, food to come and pick. The birds and the animals have food to come and pick. Whatever the case may be. Seeds are free sometimes if you get them, when you're buying it from the store. If not, they're cheap. So you can plant. And when you do get things, the seeds are now free. So you've made a great investment. And I love planting because it just brings so much joy to me with the Most High's creation. Even though we still have some of the curses of Adam when it comes to bugs and certain things like that, and weeds, but spikes and thorns and thistles, it's okay. We have to work with what the Most High have given us and the grace that He have given us to even be able to be a part of it. So I'm not afraid to do anything. You see, we finally put a door in the shed because my stepson said at one night he saw a raccoon coming in there. I'm just a man of action. I said, okay, we're going today. Get the door. Me and him put it on the same day. Same day. Okay? Because sometimes having all of these things to do, you can be all over the place, but you got to write down and jot down the order of how you want them. So I still have to paint my chicken coop. I still have to do the trim out on my shed. Next, I'm going to be building my studio, my gym. I'm going to be putting my greenhouse pretty soon before winter because I have a mango tree I just bought. It's so much I have to do. Having to keep this grass down, certain things. You can even use the grass on your land as hay. So I got connections with some Esau around the corner to get that done. Listen, men like Abraham, and I'm not tooting my own horn. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about some of the great brothers in this church as well. Men like Abraham in this world are very hard to find. But we can make more of them only if you listen. You have to listen. You have to follow. No one can hold your hand. You know what I mean? And hey, you can ask questions. We're here for that. And that's how we become a nation. I'm just going to answer a few, questions really quick. And also, I just want to show you guys something before we go. Before I answer the questions, let me show you this really quick. Really quick. One moment. Hopefully it don't give me no problems. 1 second. Yeah, give me one moment. It's coming. We just launched some new items that I'm excited about. Hopefully you are too. For those of you who do support and purchase from key supplements. One moment. Okay, one moment. Check it out here. Whoa, oh, hold up. I gotta fix that. One moment. One moment. Let me fix that up for you. We got some new supplements. Our gold line. Okay, I want you to check it out. We have some new beetroot powder, organic beetroot powder. We have some organic Irish sea moss, bladderwrack, and burdock root. Triple threat. New pre-workout. Okay, new ashwagandha, vitamin D, and zinc gummies. Let me tell you. What? Let me tell you, it's going down. And I'm adding creatine to it pretty soon because someone asked about creatine. So we will pretty much have mostly everything that you need. You understand? That's our new gold collection right there. So we did new labels. And yeah, man, hey, like I said, I'm excited about that. It's already up for sale. People have already been buying them. And I'm already making my promo and commercials and things like that. Yeah. Listen, I had some people ordering, as you know, from all over the world, England, Australia, Canada, and hopefully we will be in some other spots soon. We're working on that, but it's not that easy, to be honest with you. But I will say this. most of you don't eat vegetables when you need to. The vegans eat too much vegetables because they eat so much. They try to tell people I stop eating meat. But some of you ain't eating vegetables. Our green powder will outdo pretty much almost any green powder on the market. As far as we're talking about, as far as quality, being organic. Oh, one moment. It look like okay, I'm back. So our green powder does not get stuck in your throat. You will, let me tell you, it's some of the best on the market. I'm not saying that because you know me. I put my money where my mouth is. Yeah, you can just mix it with water, and you know how you mix some green powder with water, just float on there. Oh no, you're gonna see what I'm saying. So, on your own time, go to KIIYsupplements.com, and you will see the elite supplements that I'm talking about. So many people, I got to bring some people on who said they've been losing weight because a lot of people have not been getting the nutrients that they need, A lot of female hormones is off and all that. We got the female enhancement. We got the male enhancement, which is the ultra test with the ashwagandha. Now we got ashwagandha gummies as well, of course, with vitamin D and zinc. And as we go into winter, I just ordered my own. Of course, mine's for free, but I just got a whole lot of more vitamin D because we're getting ready to go into winter. So I'm racking up on my vitamin D and my K2. Okay. So anyway, any questions? We're gonna stop this thing at 10 tonight. I stayed on for probably about 3 hours. And listen, I had fun, man, going into this because I really wanted to help my brothers to get in the right state of mind. We're gonna have the men's conference pretty soon to help the young men and young married men to, and some weak areas where they may not have had male figures. Like some of us have came into this truth and probably didn't know certain things, but we asked Elder Rawchaa and certain elderly men of how to do these things. Now it's our time to pass it on to keep the generation getting better. So anyway, yeah. So any questions before we go? Any questions? We don't really need comments. We need questions. I know the comments come in after time. We always going to have our naysayers or a few people who come on, or just once again, please don't email me certain things because either I won't answer back because the scriptures tell us to avoid foolish questions. You see what I'm saying? If you have an idea for the show, or you want me to show something, to do something, or you want your we're working on a music thing right now because I don't want this thing to be getting no copyrighted stuff going on. So we're working on how we're going to do that soon. Not that everything has to be monetized, but we do want the support of the church, okay, as well. Because there's nothing wrong with that. We got to do the work, So any questions? Questions? Because if not, I've smelled. Y'all know, if it ain't my wife, it's my daughter's hooking it up. Taffy, I can't answer that question on here. But yes, I do I'll say this, I give him the mine. Probably, yeah, you understand. Hey, I can't answer it in a certain way on here. Oh yeah, you won't be mad at that green powder. But anyway, let me put this out there. Make sure you guys check out Lionborn Fashion. He just did his lunch. That's Elder Rawchaa lunch. You understand? Yeah, he's doing a lot of great works when it comes to footage, clothing. He got some new works coming. Wait and see that. We got some new songs coming. Wait and see that. Wait till you see some of the collabs. I stopped dumbing down my music for y'all because about 6 years ago, the music had changed when I was overseas. Everything was auto-tuned. It's almost like they programmed our people to like being a robot. All the rappers was coming out auto-tune and ABC rap. A lot of y'all don't know, back in the days, Big Tigger came down to Texas and I won a battle rap. So I dumbed down my lyrics and all that, but I'm coming back raw, like just straight hard. You understand? Me and Deacon Malak very soon. We got some hard stuff we finna be coming with real soon. Real soon. We be so busy doing the work. The music for us always comes next. It's the Most High first, you know, but yeah, the music is coming. Ooh boy, got some stuff with this and with some truth artists, Quadam, Shadiah War, Akwan, let me tell you, and some more people. Brother Tazabai, I mean, and more people I'm gonna be working with really soon. The brother who did, I gotta get a brother a shout out from Chicago. I don't remember your name just yet because I'm so busy. But the brother who did what's that song that he sent me? That man, I forgot. But they was dressed real fresh. Y'all know what I'm talking about. My head is all over the place. I can't even get it. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. They was dressed real nice and fresh. So we're gonna be doing a track with that brother. I gotta put it out there. You understand? Yeah. So yeah. I used to do battle rapping, making hits, ghostwriter. I've been doing this a long time, guys. Long time. So and I know that Passover gonna be something else, boy. What? Ooh, me and Malak back together. Let me tell you. How many acres of land do I have? At least 10. Can you post the website again, Elder? Do you have a nitric oxide? Girl, yes, I have nitric oxide. Matter of fact, the beetroot powder and the L-arginine together, you can put them together now. That's the best nitric oxide on the market. Beetroot powder and L-arginine. I take them when I go in the gym and want to pump, or even if you're older. Matter of fact, one older gentleman said that, my mother told me that he was having some problems with walking. Boy, started taking a nitric oxide, able to walk again. That's why I call it Red Sea, because it's gonna flush your body with that blood flow. Especially in the morning, I would love to take it. Right? So let me type that in. Key supplements.com. We have the G.O.C.C network if you want to join that for your business. And if you want me to give your business a shout out or whatever, just email me. I have a few people doing that. Brew Etiquette. There we go. Kim Wiggins, Brew Etiquette. I'm so sorry, my brother. I sometimes act like an old man. I be forgetting. Do Satan still have the power? Yes, he still has that same type of power on that level. Yes, he does. But we have more power than him. We were given the power over all demons. Okay? And all seraphims or serpents. Over all fallen angels. As long as we don't open that door to evil. Now, can we go through tests? Yes, we can. Can we be tempted to go through obstacles and trials and tribulations and persecutions? Yes, of course. Servant is not greater than his master. But, you know. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, Brew Etiquette was the song. Great song. And I would like to show some of these on here, but I don't want the copyright thing to be going off. So I'm going to figure out how to do that with Elder Rawchaa very soon. And I think I got an idea already. We'll talk soon about that. Have you heard of Bimmer? No, I haven't heard of Bimmer. What's the email for business shout out? Now, you know, for the business shout out, I'm going to ask if you're in good standing with your leadership. So, because I don't know some of y'all on there. I'm going to ask if you're in good standing. So it's Elder. And you got to be with this church. I'm going to ask if you're in good standing. Because some people just use the church for a crutch for money and advertising. So I'm going to ask. No offense. It's just how it goes. What was that beetroot powder? Yeah, beetroot. Look it up. I want you guys to look it up. You don't just take my word for it. You guys have to also make sure you do your own research. And if you have to talk to your doctor to make sure before you're taking something, or is it going to conflict with something you're taking? These are the responsibility for you. I will be having a consultation service very soon. But right now I don't have it. So, and I can't say certain things online. You know how this algorithm works. So, and I got to keep everything lawfully and legally. I got 5 minutes for the questions. Is vitamin K2 what we ask for when we're going to the dentist? The dentist ain't finna give you that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You listen, the pharmacy, the dentist, the doctors, they all do good work. Everything involves good and evil. Let's just say that. We'll just put it like that. Everything involves good and evil. Study to show yourself improves. You will not get vitamin K2 from them. You better eat it in yogurt or sauerkraut or natto, which is nasty, fermented soybeans. Yeah, I ain't eating that. So that's why we sell it, so you can have it palatable as far as taste wise. Okay? But it's without vitamin K2, your mouth don't work. Straight up. That's why I eat yogurt every morning, and then I take it after I eat that. Because there's vitamin D3, vitamin A, and K2 in yogurt. In whole milk yogurt. It has to be whole milk yogurt, something with fat. Because vitamin K2 is a fat-soluble type of vitamin. Okay? It's in grass-fed beef. It's only in grass-fed meats. It's a very hard thing to get we're not getting. That's why people's teeth is crooked and all that. This is a fact. Like, this is not something I'm making up to try to sell nothing. You don't got to buy my stuff. But this is a fact. You will not debate this fact. That's why they go overseas to Africa of people who's eating certain grass-fed meat. And their teeth is white even though they don't brush their teeth. They don't want to tell you what it is. It's vitamin K2. The vitamin K shot, that's not even vitamin K. That's a poison. We're talking about K1 is in green vegetables. K2 is in grass-fed meat and in fatty foods. Okay? Not any kind of fat. Got to be a healthy fat. Cheese and things like that, right? $9.57. So here, CST. So any questions? I'm reading them as they come up. I'm not really scrolling up that much. Let me see. Would you suggest Rhodolia for energy? What is the email for shout outs? Hey, whatever there's so many things for energy. You don't got to go to my site. You can find some herbs and take them yourself. See, I'm not hungry for money, but I do what I do sell is top of the line elite. That won't be debatable. That's one thing. I don't put nothing out there that I can't back up. Straight up. I've always been that way. And I give my kids, K2 as well. They got to have that. Email link to a church near me. We don't know a church near you. You can send I think it's gathering as one at AOL.com. To find a church near you, you have to tell me where you're from so I can send it to a regional elder. Brother Stan has something to number 2. What advice can you give for a woman seeking to be married? Seek ye first the kingdom, and everything else shall be added unto you. Prepare yourself as if you was already married to the Most High to be ready for a man. And if you want a man, you pray for it and you wait and you do what it takes to be able to be ready to be a helpmeet. But like Paul said, you don't seek to be loose and don't seek to be bound. So that doesn't not mean you shouldn't get married. It's just wisdom. Like, hey, don't force nothing. Right? What is collagen used for, Lion and King? Is that Azaniah? Collagen is really used for like the skin. Most people use it for like skin and hair and nails. So we got that collagen as well. We got 2 types of collagen. I mean, we've been getting I love the feedback. We've been getting praise the Most High, but we need some more like video reviews. People telling me they sleep has been great for my sleep formula, all that. Like, it's no complaining. I mean, I'm getting great feedback, but I just want y'all get them video reviews. It will really help us. This is how we build a community. You understand? It's for hair. It is for hair. It ain't just for hair, though. Usually something that's made for your hair is also made for your skin. Not just for your hair, sweetheart. It's also for your skin. All right, it's 10 o'clock. What kind of supplements do I get my boys? I can't really answer that on here. You have to see what they need. Doctors usually tell you what they need. You understand, but usually a multivitamin to make sure they're reaching all their vitamins, making sure they're eating vegetables and a healthy, balanced diet. Like I said, we have green powders and things like that, so I can't just answer things in a certain, way. You actually be what supplements you need on here, sister. Come on now. You. This is what you do. Figure out what's going on with you, what you need. You can type in keywords on our site, and that also helps you. Is it anything you can use from to rebuild bone and muscle? Of course. Oh yeah. Protein. Sulfur. You understand? Vitamin D3 plus K2. Yeah, that's what helps with the bones. Calcium. So the D3 and the K2 is going to put the calcium in the bones. All right, good night, guys. We got to go. I actually would love to stay on here with you guys and answer questions. So, but I got to go get this food in. I got a lot of work to do on the land tomorrow and a lot of church work to do. So, bless you all. And hit that like button for y'all go. If you didn't hit it, go ahead and hit that like button for y'all go for the church. Okay? Not for me, just for the church. Don't forget to look for Elder Rawchaa's show on Wednesdays. Don't forget to be checking that Patreon for them new videos. Okay? Don't forget to check out Ramar's show when he comes on. I think he comes on Fridays. Don't forget to check out if you're an Indian tribe and you speak the different tongues. Okay? Kazakh. I think it's Deacon Kazakh or Bishop Kazakh. I don't know. I don't want to mess it up, but that brother's coming on there with the fire for the Indian tribes. Peace and blessings. Okay? Good night, guys. Bless you and your families. Shalom. Thank you for being here with me.